Alrighty.
Yay!
Oh,
We did it.
Yay.
We're here.
Hello,
we're live,
hello.
We're doing stuff. We're not talking about
We did
Christmas.
We
Carol
got on the
anymore.
internet.
And so, as I was saying, I bought GameStop.
Oh my god.
How topical.
Alan,
Oh.
that's not a joke. The stock market shouldn't be. Never mind.
Anyway,
That's what I'm
Xavier, to answer your question, episode 20.
You hear that, everybody? Episode 20.
Episode 20, everybody.
That's when I just started.
If you know, you know.
You know,
If you don't know, now you know. You know what?
I rolled 100 on my gamble. Bruh.
It's either going to be
know
a great
that's
day or a
possible.
terrible day.
Stomps.
See, Andy's got it. Stomps. Stomps.
You see, Alan misunderstood the stories, and he physically bought a GameStop store. So his investment is tanking.
Rapidly, I might.
And every time he tries to sell the store back, they'll only give him like 50 cents for
Yeah.
Logan went for the easy joke.
it. You got him, man.
I mean,
So
I'll
yeah,
give you 350.
it's a Monday. It's Sharn Nights Day, except we're still playing our new characters. I am very excited for them to finally get into a real investigation with these characters because it is gonna be a mess.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be a real mess. The music be louder. But yeah.
Blast our ears out.
Do what?
So blast our ears out. Let's go.
But crank it up. I think I might
Oh,
have,
yeah.
I may have it ducking too much. We'll see. We'll play around with it. But yeah. So we're on the second part of this little side series. We're expected to be a few sessions, so that way we're not too far away from home with our other characters. I have no big announcements. I revised an adventure of one that I've already published last. Oh wait, no, it's 2021, a year and a half ago. Did a little nice, tidy revision of it to practice with layout tools and things. So go check that out. It looks pretty. Also, oh gosh, I can't plug it. It's too much work. Check out my Twitter. I just shared a thing where one of the projects I edited on for a wonderful, great creator on the DMs Guild, he's only 7 sales away from getting the copper medal on the DMs Guild. So only 7, and the adventure's only $1.50, and it's really cool. The adventure's called Smog on the Water. Because smoke on the water was taken.
for obvious reasons.
Yeah. Damn you, Deep Purple.
Yeah, they're avid D&D fans.
Everyone knows.
They know what they did.
Let me see if I can do doobly do. Yeah. So go check out that adventure. It's really cool. It's about essentially the classic, like, ooh, there's something in the sewers of this town, except it's some extraplanar beings, and they're after these books that are binding them to the material realm. It's bananas. Super cool.
Because Meg wanted to play board game.
Yeah, crazy,
Meg
right?
wanted to play a board game. You heard it here first, folks.
Heard it here
You
first.
just had to play a board game,
Had
Meg.
to
didn't
play-
you?
God damn. It's like, please
Yeah, we
stop.
need to hydrate.
You're embarrassed in front of the internet.
It's not called out. In other news, I might be doing a really cool thing through Start Playing. I actually have taken a break from Start Playing to get my schedule and life and routines under wraps before I start adding more stuff into my schedule. But there's a chance I might be DMing for a special event here in the future, so I'll keep everyone updated on that. I'm very excited. Other big news, I finished Sherlock Holmes' Devil's Daughter. In case you weren't there, it was bananas, and it was also a very short game. So now I'll be...
Who won?
Do what?
Who won?
I did, obviously. And my daughter didn't leave me, so that's good. She didn't die. But, So I finished that. I'm going to keep playing Mass Effect, and now I'm going to be moving on to Disco Elysium, which I am very pumped for, because that's a super cool game. Yeah, I'm very pumped.
Hell yeah.
And I'm probably going to spend a long time playing it, because you can play it so many different ways. So yeah, I'm very pumped for that one. Loki Bear doing big things. I am doing big things, or I'm trying to, I guess. And it's officially about 2 weeks until my second streaming D&D campaign will be kicking off. I'll be posting some more about that, announcing it now that we're closer. So that'll be really fun. I think that's it. Does anyone else have anything to plug? Xavier! Every time. I love it. Every time.
I mean, you know, just a guy that does things, whatever. No, I'm just kidding. Tomorrow is Tuesday, which is the day I stream on, starting Kingdom Hearts. So we're gonna be starting Kingdom Hearts, and this weekend we are doing our community night for my stream. So if you're a part of the community, or if you want to and you want to join us, where we all get together, play games, and hang out, check out the Discord. You can all participate and hang out.
Awesome. Also taking a break from streaming, so I won't have him plug anything. And Alan mostly only streams at like 3 a.m., so I don't.
That time was I took a nap at 8, which turned into me sleeping and then waking up at like 3 in the morning.
That makes
So I
sense.
was like, I'll stream some.
I'll stream some. Might as well. Alan, do you have anything you want to plug, or are you taking a break as well because your internship?
Yeah, I'll be busier, so my streams will be sparser. But I'm trying to. I'll either play, I don't know, some more hunts or Red Strings Club or.
Rachel's playing that right now too.
Nice. Or Tell Me Why,
Classic.
or Logan's favorite, 3 out of 10.
God, I love 3 out of 10.
Wait, can I plug something I just like?
Absolutely.
As long as it's not a Christmas Carol.
No, do not watch the 2019 Christmas Carol series. It's
See,
2
you're
hours
plugging it
and 5
anyway.
minutes of misery. You
Why
brought it
not?
up. Anyway, so in all seriousness, the lovely Abigail Thorne, creator over at PhilosophyTube, recently came out as trans, which is fucking awesome. And she did a big, super well produced video for it. You guys should go check it out over on her channel. Once again, it is called PhilosophyTube.
Nice.
Yeah. Not at all connected to what we're doing. Very cool.
That's their
So-
YouTube channel, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Rad. Okay, cool stuff. Also, kind of a big thing. Thanks to the amazing, I don't think she'll care, Jesse Whitman, who is fiscally irresponsible, became my one and only tier 3 subscriber, which means I boosted up my subscriber points and unlocked a new emote slot. It's still pending approval, but you will be getting a second creamer. You'll be getting I believe, a laughing creamer. And whenever it gets approved, who knows when that'll be. And so now I am only 10 subscriber points away. So you could be a tier 3 sub and give me a whole bunch of extra points, or do some tier 1 and tier 2 and help me get there. So I'm at 25 out of 35. I'm at 13 subscribers. So let's get to the next benchmark, and you'll get another creamer emote. You'll get the final creamer emote. And maybe I'll do like a little contest to make Rachel's face an emote.
Yes.
We'll see.
But also, Logan, when's the squinch emote coming out?
That would be so hard to make. We'll figure it out. Figure it out.
It's just an imp smoking a cigarette. Come on.
It'll just be him smoking a cigarette. And last but not least, because it happened so suddenly, I didn't get the chance to do any kind of preparations or anything. So, next Monday, mark on your calendars, all of my subscribers, all of my followers, whoever, next Monday, we'll be doing the giveaway that I so promised on the last time. since I hit 25 subscriber points by the end of the month, I will be doing a giveaway for my subscribers for a $25 gift card to the DMs Guild, so you can get some cool D&D content. So, next Monday, provided that we're still playing.
No, the campaign ends that day.
And if you want to be involved to get $25 of D&D cash, just give me a little subscribe. Give me a little teeny weeny subscribey-wibey.
That's awful.
A little, never mind, I can't keep going with that.
Yeah, that was bad.
It's in the ground. Buried, it's dead.
We're taking that back to R&D.
Oh, gosh.
Subscribey Wibey, marking that off the list. The people did
Subscribey-wibey?
not care for it.
You haven't done any surveys. How do you know? Maybe people did like it.
I did the surveys. Travis, I am the survey.
Steven,
How about
give me
some
something teeny. Oh, goodness. Gross. So,
Gravy, baby.
I think on that note, let's go ahead and do a role-playing warm-up. I think Travis was the last one to go, correct?
What? I don't remember. I couldn't even
think the
remember.
I'm trying to remember who hasn't gone yet. I don't
The
think...
people who haven't gone are Austin and Alan. I think Travis went last time, and then he was given his little birthday thing.
Sure. Yeah.
Fairly certain. So Travis, pick either Alan or Austin.
Oh God. That would be an Alan.
So Alan, if you'll roll a d6 for me.
Okay.
6.
So this will be for Roman, current characters. What what is one errand that Roman has to take care of the next time he has a day off? Like, what's something on his to-do list that he has to take care of the next time he's free?
His life insurance policy.
Like, get one or update it? What's the...
He doesn't know if he has one.
I mean, when you're a horrible fish man, I guess you kind of live day to day.
But who would be the person that would benefit from that? Like, who
Other
even
fish?
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, hang on. When Hobart Weston hired these people, was there any like need for like insurance or like
So-
credits, or like, ID?
Yes, you need to present some, at least like, so that way they can make sure like you're not a wanted criminal who's trying to get involved or anything. And as far as like insurance goes, this is sort of your trial run as detectives, so the insurance hasn't kicked in yet. But in the future, if we do more side investigations with these characters, or for future characters, healing and such at healing houses will be covered by the investigation agency. But for
nice.
now, it's not. You're in that lapse between policies.
Coverage.
Yeah, and coverage.
Okay, because Roman hasn't been in Sharn for a while, so
Yeah.
He needs to upgrade his life insurance.
Does. Wow. All right.
Always trying to
Roman.
get insurance money.
I just like how it did not take you that long at all to come
To
to
say
that
that.
conclusion. Just like life insurance.
Life insurance.
All right.
I mean, I feel like that's just Alan tapping into Alan's to-do list next time he has a day off. Like, if you had asked me and I did that, I'd be like, oh god, I need to figure out how to do taxes. Like,
Funny enough, yeah, Austin, it would also have something
be
to do with
taxes.
insurance.
Oh yeah, you can file taxes if you have your W-2 right now.
Do it.
Yeah, you only got like
Plugging
2.5
taxes now?
months.
Yeah, it's important to do that now before, So you know early.
I know, and now that I'm a freelancer, I have like a million things to file taxes from, and like I'm mad.
I'm
So then it's gonna be half a year of freelance. That's gonna be a weird one too, right?
Yeah, I think I have to like pay back a bunch of stuff rather than coming out of my own money. So it's gonna be like, hey, government, here's all my money I made.
Yep.
Looking forward to it. Anyway, we're 25 minutes in, so we're gonna move on.
I don't know. This tax talk is enthralling.
This tax talk. Hey,
What's the
Alan,
deal
I
with taxes?
am deeply sorry about what is going to be on the next screen.
Was chat even involved in that?
No, chat. Actually, maybe. I truly don't
No,
remember.
we were. That was after we had stopped recording. They're not gonna understand this.
It's still funny to me. It's not gonna last very long.
Hold on.
Okay. Can we at least explain?
Oh my lord.
No,
Because
I
Alan
think so.
doesn't
I sent
understand
a
the
link
difference
if that's
between
a
gills and a
thing.
blowhole.
No, but I found it in sea cucumbers.
Are you a sea cucumber?
No, you're
Could
not.
be.
Oh,
Everyone
know what
bully
I
Alan in
heard.
chat because he doesn't understand how gills work.
Oh man. So
Oh my
anyway, I'll put that
God.
away now. So our nice, neat little logo.
Yeah, no, that definitely
So-
happened whenever he was describing his character on stream.
Yeah, because one of Roman's perks is he gets to like breathe underwater.
Oh yeah, and you're looking for gills, and we
also
said is it
a
a blowhole or a
blowhole.
gill? You
But
said
I
it's
thought
a.
that
He's got a gill
us-
hole.
At least the meme happened after stream.
Yeah, the
I
meme
guess.
happened after stream.
Oh yeah,
Um,
for sure.
So
That's so poorly Gil Hole is.
it's so
Don't know
terrible.
that.
Travis, you made that meme, right?
Yes, I did.
Everyone
Thank you,
say
Travis.
nice meme, Travis.
How do fish breathe? All right, we're done with the
Alan
gill hole
doesn't
talk.
know.
So, last time we streamed, we kicked off this sort of new round of investigations. The main storyline we have been following with our investigators took a dire turn, and we're taking a break with some more lighthearted new hires into this investigation detective agency. And so, in the last session, they were invited to meet and greet with about another 15 or so investigators, or potential investigators, to figure out who's going to join the detective agency. They performed some icebreaker meet and greets with one another. They had some nice food. And then after these icebreaker activities, they had to put their skills to the test and acquire a spell shard, a magical device that holds text, from Hobart Weston, the detective agency's proprietor, from his person. There were 4 groups and only 3 spell shards, which contained the leads to their cases. So one group would be sent home. In a topsy-turvy turn of events, 2 groups got sent home, and this group ended up with 2 cases to solve.
We did say we'd give them one of them.
I thought that was because you had 3 and you gave 1 to the,
Oh no, we said we'd collect them all and then decide which one we liked the most, and then give them the ones we didn't.
Then Roman said, no.
Apparently, yeah.
Roman said, this is one no.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Anyway.
But we
You,
I-
did-
that's what
yanked, you yanked the last shard, and like literally at the last second, you yanked the last shard out of the lady's hand with your tentacle.
Oh yeah. Okay.
you can still try and pass it off to one of the other groups. It was just that you noticed that a few of them left out of frustration. So right now, you are standing in Hobart Weston's large apartment in the Torchfire district of Lower Memphis Plateau. I don't know how I had that memorized. That I just surprised myself. It is mid-afternoon. You just, you finish up with your brunch and drinks and coffee. And now you've kind of gathered up the other group led by Judith the Changeling. They're sitting down looking at their spell shard, and you have your 2 spell shards, which I sent to you prior to the game to kind of get an idea of which ones you wanted to do. For our listeners, 1 spell shard, I will read these quickly, and I'm sorry if I read them too quickly. The first spell shard, it has the following case file in it, the following case lead. A family man named Morven Stickles from the district of Holdfast has a reason to suspect that his wife, Cathra Stickles, of nearly 200 years, is having an affair. The evidence that is proposed is that she has been running off at strange times to run errands. Whenever she comes home, she smells like incense, candles, and like bonfire ash. Evidence that she's going to some kind of clubs or she's having some kind of physical relations. She's been becoming very irritable, which is typically a sign of guilt or frustration toward their significant other. And according to their bank, Cathra has been making some very sizable withdrawals with no signs of where the money is going. Along with the addresses, the reward has been stated that the investigators will simply get 100 gold pieces to find evidence of whether or not this wife is or is not cheating. And they have children, so if you're going to be around the house or doing any questioning with them, to do so with discretion, so as not to traumatize the kids. Additionally, the second spell shard is a little more vague and mysterious, but the price is a little bit higher. A wealthy woman named Andre de Ghallanda, so a dragon-marked individual, is suspicious about the death of her friend. That is pretty much the only details about the case given. For more details, you're supposed to meet her at the Dragon's Hoard in Skyway, the most prestigious and wealthy area in Sharn. She didn't necessarily disclose the nature of the job, but the payment is 200 gold pieces plus the cost of expenses. However, she believes that if her suspicion about the nature of her friend's death is true, she may want to hire you for some further investigations and will pay you accordingly. So they're sort of stuck with these two case files to pursue at the moment, and I will turn it over to our investigators to discuss.
Well, I need money, so I think we should do the second one.
I think possible murder sounds pretty dang thrilling.
No, it's Travis.
Oh boy.
I'm just happy to be here. Whatever you guys want to do.
Not often you get to go to the fancy place like the Skyway district. You know what? Sure, I'm putting my vote in for the second one.
Yeah, I haven't been there in a while.
Oh,
Why have you been there?
Just errands.
Do I believe that?
oh yeah.
I doubt it. You had to roll, no.
Yeah, you know what? The second one probably does sound kind of fine. First one, it's probably she's just involved in some kind of cult. That sounds culty to me.
That's
Yeah,
actually
sure,
what I
why
was
not?
going to say.
Yeah, I mean,
Cult,
candles, incense, smell of a bonfire, going out late, spending sizable sums of money, totally a cult. Anyway, I want to know what the thing that I don't already know
Here's
something
looking
about
at you,
is.
Church of Scientology. You're on my shit list.
That is both in character and IRL. Confirming that Scientology does in fact exist in Sharn.
Yep. Yeah. Does anybody have any objections? Dr. Zero?
As long as that's not my voice.
Abort out. Done.
Dr. Cortex, you gotta.
Yes,
You're gonna say
well, as
bandicoots.
long as I'm able to perform experiments on any of the people that we find there, I should be fine going either way.
That's an upsetting ultimatum, but I
I
don't
don't
think
think
I'm
that's
in
how
a
that
position
works.
to say no.
Alright. Speaking of experiments, would any of you be interested in partaking?
You know, I appreciate the offer,
No.
but I think I'm all right.
What you got?
Dr. Zero Jr. has gentle hands.
I don't
like-
I
I don't suppose you could get the old hair to come in a bit thicker up top, huh? And I kind of just elbow you.
I like gentle hands.
Try.
What you got?
Really?
Sure. We'll work on something in private.
All right, Doc.
Well-
Again, I do not have health insurance, so that may be a hurdle, but we can talk. Yeah, sure.
It's okay. No health insurance means no liability.
I
Again,
love how genuine that really sounded.
What kind of experiment are we
Someone
talking
quote
about
that.
here?
No health insurance equals no liability.
Are we
For
talk-
you, my turtle friend. What are you interested in?
I mean, you know, I like to experiment with different experiences. So, like, you know, whatever.
All right, I can work on something. Have you heard of the time knife?
I know. Is
That's really like Travis saying no.
is that like doing? I don't know this.
No. There's talk of an experiment that'll let you see 1 trillion different realities folding into itself.
That
It's
sounds very
unlike
traumatic.
anything else.
brilliant.
Could be.
That's a lot.
Now who's
Um,
sending these signals?
press X to doubt.
That's a Good Place reference for all my Good Place fans out there.
Roman walks up to the dock and says, with open arms, "Crunchitize me, Captain."
I don't have a crunchitized ray, but I can build one if you'd like.
Roman, not knowing what that means, agrees.
Okay. A crunchitized ray, a time knife, and hair growth.
Yeah.
I have
feel
Dr.
good
Zero
about
Jr. write them all down.
Okay. Is Mr. Hobart witnessing this exchange?
Yes, and you see, he's prestidigitated the mayonnaise off of him, the slime fluids from the tentacle, cleans himself up. Kind of overheard this, was a bit hesitant to interrupt Dr. Zero. You could see that, you can tell he feels that interrupting Dr. Zero is just generally a bad idea. He doesn't like the type of person that minds being interrupted. So he just kind of like waits and waits and waits until it's over, and then steps in and says, "Alright, so, have we settled on a case? You brave group going after 2 cases?"
I believe so, sir. The second of the 2. The suspicious death?
Ah, that's a good one. What's up, nerd? He says,
I'm guessing
"Lovely."
that wasn't in character.
No, he's a fucking nerd.
Oh, okay.
Says, "Ah, yes, the Ghallanda client. Now I don't know what currently your financial situations are like, but a few
Not
of you,
great.
a few of you may want to clean up just a little bit before heading up to the Skyway. You don't want to garner any strange looks or prying eyes. It's a lot of gossip and politics up there with many of the wealthy people who live there. I mean, most of them, their feet have never even touched the streets of Sharn. They stay up there in the Skyway most of their lives. So they have an idea of what people should do and what they should look like. So if you have any kind of formal clothing and whatnot, you could put that on. That would, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. And then points at Roman and says, "That's a great suggestion, Roman. Yeah, you guys should go put on some cleaned up clothes. Look your best."
I can take y'all to my khaki guy. He'll get you fitted up real nice.
Can I say is called the khaki guy?
No. Yep.
Can my Noah guy this time? Can I have a Noah guy of just like a group of rich kids that are up in the Skyway that I sell drugs to? So like I'm not actually suspicious in the area because I show up quite a bit.
Well, they would probably come to you, not the other way around.
Okay. Maybe not then. We'll workshop it.
We'll edit it in post.
Yeah.
So, do you have any other questions for Weston or anything else before you head out? Okay. And do you go get gussied up to go to the Skyway? Or do you want to go in your natural dress?
I look at like my cargo jacket and my like pants and like my sandals I'm wearing.
Are you wearing socks and sandals?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh,
I'm a comfy doctor. I think about it and then I just go. I dress for utility, not for I guess to be all glamored up. So I think I'll just go in this.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't really have the money to buy nothing else. I would say that maybe I just mostly use my mushrooms to cover my. I mean, the shell. You know, like, am I supposed to just clip a tie to it?
I think you look fine as is.
A minor illusion, a tie.
I appreciate. Does that look better?
I think Alan should be banned
like
from having minor illusion.
Oh, Lord.
I agree.
No magic. Nothing.
I'll mold earth some of his moss into a tie.
I like that a lot. I might just keep it.
It's like a knitted tie, but it's just made of moss woven together.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna be honest. This is the best I've looked in years.
Jesus Christ. Does anyone else want to get gussied up, or are you going to go in your normal dress?
Can
Are
I?
you kidding? These are my nice clothes.
Yeah, let's go with that.
I'll
Can I
button up
try?
my lab coat, but Dr. Zero Jr. will have a full tuxedo on.
What a dapper little guy.
In an almost cartoony fashion, he opens up like a little, like, Bender-style cabinet on the front of his chest, pulls out a little tuxedo, and then a flurry as he spins in a circle, like Magical Girl transformation, then he's in his tuxedo.
Magical girl transfer.
And then you hear, like, a little, like, microphone trumpet go, and he holds out his arms.
Adorable.
Bob laughs for like too long at that. It's like, oh, little tuxedo. That's great. I love that.
Man. Oh my god. Alright, Alexander's already in his fancy clothes. Morel has a moss tie. Julian is in, is going on, like, natural dress. Roman, do you want to do any dress up stuff? Any clean up stuff?
Yeah, I want to bring Bob with me. Cause he's fun.
Oh,
Because he's fun? Did you just call a dad fun? Do you say that to Bob's face? Do you tell Bob he's fun?
You're fun. Want to come with me?
Absolutely, yeah.
Thank you, Abby. Holy shit.
Oh, man. And I want to try.
Now,
try
Sean,
and
what are you looking for? I told you about my khaki guy. All right, we can outfit you with a nice polo. Maybe a tasteful Hawaiian shirt. I saw some spiffy ties the other day. We can get you one of those. And he minor illusions, just like a Jerry Garcia tie. Just like the gaudiest thing you could fucking imagine. Yeah, and he's just like nodding at you, completely serious and enthused, just like, oh yeah. I notice you're not really wearing a shirt right now, and that's fine. Believe me, if I could drop a few pounds, I'd be right there with you. But and what are you looking for, friend? What kind of clothes?
Actually, I was wondering if you want to come along. I'm gonna go to the bank first.
Oh, a little trip to the bank? Yeah, champ, we can do that.
Yeah, see if I can get some funds.
So,
And I want to try.
You know, make an
and-
insight check on the phrase "get some fun."
I guess go for it.
Insight.
Do I have to roll some?
15.
Well, I guess, Alan, are you being deceptive or like malicious with this phrase of "get some funds"? Is it?
This man said he wanted to get some funds, and that immediately activates my bank robbery senses.
I want to go to the bank to see if I can access my family's bank account.
Awesome. What is your mark again?
Detection.
Detection. That's right. I knew that somewhere deep in my brain.
Oh God, I forgot.
So you go. You were brought here under the pretense of having a brunch and a get to know you. You didn't really expect to get your first cases today. So while Roman and Bob go to the bank and go shopping, the rest of you, except maybe Morel, if you want to accompany someone else, you go home or to your places of work and tie up loose ends. You grab any supplies you need and all that kind of stuff. And in the meantime, Roman and Bob, you head over to the Kundarak Bank of Sharn, with its marble steps and columns, gold filigreed doors, and stained glass windows, marble floors all the way through. Numerous agents of House Kundarak bustling around, helping everyone in sight. And you notice that there are a bunch of House Kundarak guards wearing the heraldry of the house standing guard. And this is not meant to be in a foreboding way, but more of a, you kind of know what's going on. House Kundarak is mark of warding. Their thing is protection, protection, protection. So, and you know that if things go bananas in here, it's game over. Let me pull up my thing here, because this is...
Logan's nice way of saying the shenaniganry stops here, boys.
Nah. You see, at the many like customer service counters and booths, there are tellers from House Kundarak, mostly dwarven, and mostly wearing a matching black vest with gold trim, white shirt. Most of them very clean cut, trimmed beards and hair. It's all very clean and organized. And you go up, and you see that that there's a man that takes you next. Dwarven man. He has shaved gray hair, but then and it's not like a white silvery gray. It's sort of a dark charcoal gray. Very well trimmed. He waves you over, massive thick hand adorned with rings. And as you approach, he says, "Greetings. How can I help you?"
I'd like to access an account and make a withdrawal.
All right. Can I get a name and account number? Which you would still have access to, more or less.
Okay. I kind of whisper it a little bit. Roman.
Alright. And could you spell that last name for me?
D apostrophe MEDANI.
Well, pleasure to serve you, Master Madani. I will be right back with an update. And he shuffles off.
And I turn to Bob and I thought it was just gonna be, just some quick eating, and then I was actually gonna go to State Farm today, but
Oh. Yeah, you got some insurance thing to work out, or?
yeah, I don't know if I have any.
Yeah, do you have a policy that you don't know if it's ended yet, or?
I just never thought about it. What's your policy?
Oh, I don't have one. That kind of ended when I quit at a couple months back. Didn't quite make it to retirement age. Had a few decades left. After they modulate it based on your relative lifespan. Bob's still got a couple centuries left in him. But so. I figured if I couldn't have company insurance, through the watch, might as well do a bit of freelancing, So hopefully this will work.
You worked for the watch before?
I did for quite a time. It just the delayed promotions, the working overtime, it just started, weighing on me. And every day I felt like nobody was ever happy to see us. Nobody was ever happy to see us get there. It didn't feel like we're helping people. It felt like we were just carrying out arbitrary rules set by powerful people in the city who don't really seem to have to follow them themselves. I mean, I can't tell you the number of times we busted down doors on like a drug bust or something, only to find some young dragon marked guy who his family would just throw some money at the watch and he'd be out by morning. And I mean, not to say the whole drug war is a good thing in the first place. That's a whole nother matter. But I didn't feel like we were helping people anymore, and I couldn't stand to do it. So old Bob marched right up to the captain, threw his resignation on the desk. I mean, I kind of had to reach up a little bit, but you get the picture. Here I am today, richer in spirit, not in gold. I will be honest. It's been a little hard. Had to cut back on some things. Been eating a lot of ramen.
Master Roman. You can detect like a bit of hesitation in the voice. And this dwarven man has returned.
Before I fully give the other guy my attention, I say, "Well, Sprigbar, I'm happy to see you." And then I turn to the guy.
So, I have the House Madani finance folio, and it's like, 6 inches thick. It is a massive binder of just an unbelievable amount of finance information about House Madani and Sharn. And you imagine that's probably not the only. This looks like not even just the house finances. This is like personal house finances for like individual accounts and things within just the House Madani umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
Says, so Master Roman, I found your account information, and it looks as though you have been removed from the account.
Removed?
Or are you still affiliated with the house? Are you still agent? Still an heir?
I mean, I still got my mark.
What I can tell, appears that not included on the account anymore. I see, Hewis, his wife, and his son are on here, but you and, is this do you believe this to be an error, a mistake?
I think that's just fine. Oh, you wouldn't happen to know, am I also off of the, health insurance?
That's not through us, that wouldn't be.
Oh. Okay. I'm new to this.
What? Hold on. And you see he pulls out a little, like, eyeglass and leans down. A moment. And he closes that folio, puts it away, and comes back with a new folio, much smaller, much thinner. Opens it up, and there is a single piece of paper in there with some text on it. So, from your family's account, there was a notation next to your name, which led me to this folio. Seems that you were not left out to dry. Your family opened a separate account under your first name. If you would like to fill in a last name, you may. Fill in any personal information, such as place of residence and things of that nature. And he takes the folio and slides it across the counter to you. And it seems that your family, the Madani house, opened up a separate bank account to you. Roman, the last name is blank, for you to fill in a new last name. And any other personal information. And it's an account with 100 gold pieces. A small loan of 100 gold pieces, if you will.
And for the last name I write, De Medina.
You just switched some of the letters. De Medina.
Will they be notified of this?
We can let them know if you wish.
Please, yes.
Right, and he makes a few notes. And he says, "Would you like to withdraw the 100 gold?"
I'll turn to Bob. How much do you think I'll need at the khaki shop?
Oh, the khaki shop? Logan, what's the going rate for khaki in Sharn?
So khaki stock has actually gone up recently.
Oh, okay.
You can get a simple outfit for like a gold piece, like an entire outfit. If you just want pieces, it can be less.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you really want to scrimp, you can maybe go a couple silver, but for a gold piece, we'll have you looking snazzy.
Roman thinks and says out loud, "Fuck it. I'll withdraw 10 gold pieces."
Oh, big spender over here.
The clerk, he says, "Very good." He signs off on a withdrawal slip, a little bank statement that has all of your banking information and all that good paperwork stuff. Gives you a copy, keeps his own copy for himself, and comes back with a little canvas bag of 10 gold pieces. All right. Is there anything else I can help you with, Master Medina? The Medina?
Dude, Medina? Oh, that's pretty close to the Madani. It's weird it's that close, but yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Bob Sprigbriar. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Mr. Sprigbriar, do you have an account here with us as well?
Yes, I do. I don't believe I need to make any withdrawals or certainly deposits this day.
Oh, very good. Anything else I can help either of you gentlemen with?
No, that'll be all. Thank you, Mr.
Kundarak.
Well, this was a very enlightening moment.
You see this teller, he looks around. And anyone perceptive of the two of you would probably notice he looks at some of the other tellers like and he kind of like lowers his voice and says, "Sir, it's just a bank."
That it is, and I high five him.
He high-fives you, then immediately wipes off his hand with like a little handkerchief and sets it off to the side.
And then I
Next,
high five Bob, and we leave.
high-five and leave.
The bug got in me, yeah.
I of course need to toilet cat already. But with I'm not sure what Morel's doing, but I assume to get ready for this journey that Dr. Zero and Julian would need to go to their own respective places to gear up, get whatever they need, and prepare for this outing. So if either one of you want to take the narrative reins and sort of describe either your clinic or your lab and sort of talk about your routine before heading out. I'm gonna go toilet cat.
You can go first, Xavier.
I'll be right back as well.
Cool, just throw it on me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right. I go back to my lab. That's is anyone going with me? No? Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful.
No.
I go back to my lab. It's secretly under my parents' basement. As I go there.
Secretly. Nobody knows.
It's not
Nobody
a secret
knows.
anymore.
You guys don't know. Your characters aren't there. But I go to my parents' basement, which is also my lab. I gather a couple things. I write down Time Knife and try to figure out a way to create that into a reality, and crunchitize Ray. But then I accidentally put a capital R as crunchitize Ray as in person. So we'll get into that later. You can see that my lab is a terrible mess. It's one of those, you know how some people, they're like, it's an organized mess, but really it's just a mess. You're just like, all right. That's basically what my lab is. There's things spilled everywhere. There's some sort of foul smell coming from the left corner of the room. You can see that there's a place where clearly acid or some sort of explosion has destroyed the right side of a wall, but instead of replacing it and getting it fixed, he just put a little poster over it to cover it up. And the poster is just like a little cat that says, hang in there. That's just like holding on to it. While he's there, he's getting a couple things. But however, for Dr. Zero Jr., it's quite the opposite. His side of the room is very neat, organized, and very clean, being entirely different. It's spotless compared to mine. But other than that, do you have anything, Doctor? Logan, we
Me?
established my lab is in my parents' basement.
Is there like a cross-stitched frame cross-stitch that says Dr. Zero's lab that your mom made hanging on the basement door?
Oh,
that
absolutely.
kind of mom? Okay. Just checking.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Ooh, Logan, I guess you can say, is my sister home?
Let me roll. How old is your sister?
We're twins.
Oh shit. Okay. I was supposed to get top.
Easy way not to say your age.
Yeah, exactly. I do that too. I love it. So she's an adult woman, and she also lives at home apparently.
No. She doesn't live at home. I live at home.
Oh, but she visits every now and again.
Correct.
So we'll say that Xavier, you caused this. As you walk in, she is home. She stopped by on her lunch break, because she is a hardworking woman. And you walk in the front door. I assume did you describe your home at all, or?
No, not really. Just my lab. My home is it's just like a small. We're gnomes. It's like a small, like quaint little home. However, I do come from a family of scientists, so like even though it's small and quaint, when you go on the inside, you see that there's just like a lot of just like gadgets and gazmos that's running about and things of that sort.
Gadgets and gazmos.
Mm-hmm.
I liked that as well.
I love it. So you walk in, and immediately, you hear your dad's voice from another room say, "Hey, son, get in here. Come look at this."
Papa, I guess I could spare a few moments. What do you have to show me?
And you see, like your dad looks up at you from his workbench, and Coke bottle glasses amplifying his eyes like tenfold. He has sort of a scruffy beard, which he normally doesn't keep. Pretty well clean shaven, but he seems to be working hard. He's been after some kind of project recently. And on his workbench, you see essentially just a little metal sphere, with essentially propellers on the top of it. He says, "All right, son, watch this. He stands across the room, points very dramatically at this orb and says, "Up!" And it starts to float up into the air. And when it does, he starts cheering, and then it crashes into the ceiling and smashes back to the ground. I forgot to tell it to stop. But it follows my voice commands. It's great.
It's wonderful, Father. What are you going to do with the floating orb?
She says, well, I've also, I acquired this from a friend. A friend of a friend. It's actually, your cousin Anne. She knew a man. I think he worked down... Oh, I remember. It's, this man, his brother is the khaki guy. He owns that store down the way. And
Yes.
Anne knew him, and so she heard this story from the khaki guy when she went to go get some more pants for her fiance. Have you met her fiance yet?
No.
Oh, he's wonderful. I hopefully can meet him before the wedding, because that'd just be really awkward if you met him at the wedding. But anyway,
The
she
floating
knew.
orb, Papa. The floating orb.
Oh, floating
What
orb!
did you
I
do?
found this. Well, someone gave it to me. A little gift, knowing that I like to invent on a bit of a sign. And he holds up what looks like a spell shard, except it's more like octagonal in shape, and it's thin, almost like a glasses lens, spectacles lens. And he says, just stand there and smile.
Jeez.
And he holds it up, and you see the thin lens glow with light. And then you can see in the glass lens, when he holds it up to you, you can see vaguely your own shape, you and Dr. Zero Jr.'s shape in it. And he says, now watch. He sets it flat on the table, and it up into like a three-dimensional illusion of you and Dr. Zero Jr. And he says, I would love to be able to attach this to my flying orb and send it out of the city of Sharn and get a bird's eye view of the city. Create a little illusion, a little 3D illusion of the city. Isn't that neat?
This is wonderful, Papa, but have you ever considered using it for this? Spying on your enemies and using it to gain the upper hand. Hmm?
He kind of punches you in the shoulder a little bit and says, well,
Oh.
I don't think Mr. Nussbaum would like me spying on him very much, but, you know, a little neighborly dispute doesn't call for spying. I wouldn't call him an enemy either. Wouldn't call him an enemy either.
Papa, you're one of the greatest minds in the world, and yet you still quarrel with these idiots that live beside us. I don't understand your patience or your mercy.
Well, I need to get back to fixing my my Gidget here. If you'll, I'm sure your mother would love to see you before you head out again. Yes. And immediately starts scrambling back his remains of his sphere.
And, yes, I guess I'll go find Mother.
And you
Mommy?
find her in the kitchen. As you round the corner, what is your passive perception?
Ooh. It's a 10.
The 10? You walk in, and you don't catch what they were saying, but they stop talking from a whisper whenever you enter into the room. As in, they were whispering, and then you walked in and they stopped. And your mom stands up, and she is of course, oh, never mind, I'm not gonna say that. Your home is built for gnomes, but your mom has always had an interesting sense of style, very colorful, and she prides herself on her efficiency, and so she wears an apron that has far too many tool loops on it. And even though, like, right now she just finished cooking lunch for her and her sister, she still has, like, hammers and pliers on her tool apron. And she also has always kept a very high beehive hairdo, only to be able to store varieties of screwdrivers and nails and screws in. And so you look, and she has screwdrivers and nails stuck into her head for later whenever she needs them. And you walk in, her and your sister stop talking, and say, "Oh, honey, hi. What are you doing back here so soon? I thought you had that little brunch thing with your work."
I immediately, my eyes immediately shoot daggers at my sister Zoe. And as I'm like staring at her, I'm talking to Mom, and I'm like, that brunch thing actually turned out to be a excellent career opportunity for me, Mother.
A career Oh, and she stands up and gives you a big hug.
And as she's hugging me, I'm just looking at my sister and just like, Sokatin, look at me.
And she's rolling her eyes. She sips her coffee. And your mom says, "So, I mean, tell me all about it. You like, are you like frequent paychecks? Like, it's a career. You're gonna like move up in the ladder, so to speak. You're gonna do great things."
Yes. All of that and above. Great things, ladders and money. Sure, yes, all of it. Yes. But I have my first assignment today, and I must. Yes, I have to get my things and prepare.
And she smacks your sister on the arm and says, "I knew he would blow them away." And she rolls her eyes and scoffs.
I stand a little taller.
And your mom turns back to you and says, "Well, get on it. Go do whatever you need to do. Go get ready for your first assignment. I can't wait to hear all about it. I mean, you don't want to be late. That would just set a bad impression. So go on."
I will go on and do great things, as I say towards my sister Zoe. Better things than you, of course. Did I immediately, before she has a second to respond, I immediately start running out the door?
Yep. And then you hear your mom, less in a whisper this time, but you can tell she's a little trying to keep her voice down. If you'll make a perception check for me.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Oh.
I love these dynamics.
That's a 5.
Great.
Oh, la, 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 la.
Because you just told off your sister, the blood is pumping in your ears. You're like, "Yes, I fucking did it." And you can't overhear what your mother says to her. But you go down to your lab, you get ready, you get all your supplies, and I assume that you guys would have some kind of meeting spot, maybe back in Torchfire or wherever else.
Before I meet up, I would like to make sure that I visit my wife's grave, who died in the fire. It is in the spot where my home was. I would like to go visit my.
The fire's not funny anymore. I thought it was funny. You made it seem like it was a funny thing last time. It's not funny at all.
I would
also.
I like this visual. Sharn, the city of towers, where every building is a Florida tower and all those kinds of stuff. That there is a tower down in the Khalistan district where the bottom floor is gone and it's only the supports of the build. Like, it's a lofted tower, and then the only thing in the stonework and dirt beneath that tower is a lone gravestone in the skeleton of the first floor of this tower.
Yeah, so I'd visit it and place her favorite flowers, which are mostly just fungus.
She really liked this one mushroom that always grew on my ass.
Yeah.
I really forgot you were a turtle man for a second.
And then I would like to go visit my various kids that are living nearby. I have many, and some of them have left, but a couple of them stayed by to make sure that I was okay after the whole thing. And so I would go visit Dennis and go say hi to him and his 30 kids. And
first off,
yes.
So you see Dennis, and I'm gonna be dead honest. I think this is a weak spot of me as a DM. How do you describe turtle people? How can you differentiate between turtle people? I don't know.
Different skin tones. Maybe I assume that not all of them are.
That's fair.
Huh?
You're older,
Yeah.
so he has a more vibrant green skin hue. He doesn't have the mushrooms and fungus growing on him, and it didn't carry to him. He was never a alchemist like you were. But the moment you walk in, he greets you. He kind of stands a little taller than you, just because in your old age you kind of slouch a bit. He gives you a hug. His wife gives you a hug. It weirds you out a little bit. None of the kids are there at the moment in this tiny little home. And he says, "Yeah, Dad, they're just down the hallway there. Just go down there and open the door."
Okay. And I proceed down the hallway.
You open the door, and you should make a dexterity saving throw for it.
Dexterity saving throw. Morale, not too big on the dexterity, gotta say. That's gonna be a 7.
You open the door, and a bucket of water that was balanced on the door falls and dumps onto your head. You're soaked down with water, which, feels pretty good, honestly, to a turtle. And then you hear all 30 of these turtle grandkids start laughing and barreling down a crowd of 30 little turtles slowly start running down the hall toward you, and start clambering all over you, slipping off of you, and they say, we got you, you fell for it."
Oh, you did. And I give each little one like a little head pat and hug them, say their names, lift them up, that kind of thing. I give them a couple mushrooms that would just that taste like candy or something of that sort.
Hey, Travis?
Yes.
What mushroom?
I imagine like a mushroom, but the head of it's like a sweet tart or something.
Yeah, it's just a sweet mushroom.
I love it. A gummy mushroom.
I've been
Candied
crossbreeding them
mushrooms.
enough so that they are able to kind of, some of them have different flavors and
I
whatnot.
mean, it's a
love it.
fantasy world.
Do
Yeah,
whatever you want, man. Yeah.
Live my fantasy life.
Your fantasy is gummy mushrooms.
Yes.
There are real world mushrooms that taste like chicken. They're called chicken of the forest. So, I don't think it's
That's
that
a
much.
bit on the nose of a name.
I didn't name them.
Dennis invites you over for just a quick, little snack before you head out and go do whatever. And he and his wife both kind of inquire about how your job hunt is going since the shop burned down. You're a wise person. You can see that he's very, very carefully. Both of his parents were very wise, very perceptive, and always knew when they were up to no good. And so he knows that you can tell when he's lying or being hesitant about stuff. So he does his very best to tiptoe around his mother and your wife. But he kind of says since the shop burned down and since you had to retire early, stuff like that. So he's like, how'd that brunch go?
Well, it's been somewhat hard. I miss your mother very much, but this new job I think is possibly gonna give me some good money, hopefully.
Is it safe? I don't know too much about the work you're doing.
I'm just an investigator. It shouldn't be too hard. I just need to make sure that I keep an eye out, and y'all taught me well.
Can I tell you a secret, Dad?
Yes, of course.
The bucket was my idea.
Oh, well, you little rascal, you ain't changed a bit.
I gotta teach the kids, they gotta keep things light, and they gotta learn from the best, Took a lot to get past you and Mom.
That's true. And you turned out so well. I'm proud of you.
Did I tell you, got a promotion. Work.
No way.
Oh. I was, that, tavern I was working at, mostly just a bus boy. They finally hired me as a bartender now.
That's
They
awesome.
let me mix the drinks and everything.
That's fantastic. I'm gonna have to stop by. You're gonna have to make me a drink. I'm looking forward to it.
And I'll add in any of the, special ingredients that you'd like.
That's fine. I'll sneak it in.
Is there anything else you would like to do, Morel?
No, I'm fine. I'm gonna leave. And make sure I grab some kind of real food from him before I do. Maybe just sneak a sandwich or something. And head on the way.
You sneak a sandwich. You have a bit of traveling to do to get where you need to go. And as you are slowly making your way to your meeting spot, so with your other investigator pals, you get a bit snacky, and so you take a bite of the little finger sandwich that you made off with, and you crunch down on something with your little turtle cartilage teeth. And when you peel back, your son has left a gold piece inside the sandwich.
Oh, that's so nice of him. And I go ahead and put that right in my bag and say,
I eat it.
Oh, I'm... Just make sure to bite into it to make sure
It's fake.
Oh.
I love this contrast of like Roman's family has completely like left him out to dry. Dr. Zero's family, they're wholesome and good, but there's some tension there. And then Morel's just like, he's good. It's lovely. And so
And then Bob.
and then there's Bob. Jacob,
Oh, just wait till I get a shit to describe Bob's apartment. Just you wait.
just you wait. One couch picked up from the road. He has a single saucepan,
And like half a lawn chair.
a fridge with some baking soda in it.
Bob is just subleasing Spike's apartment.
The one chair to paint it on fireplace.
That's amazing.
I love it. They're roommates, but because they're never home at the same time, we don't ever see them in the same room together.
Yeah, when they finally run into each other, it's gonna be like, wait, do you work here? Oh my god! Oh, I never knew.
No, I'm imagining like you guys have case files and you set them on the counter, and then the next day you pick up the opposing person's case file, and then Bob walks into this serial killer murder scene, and like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Who are you?
Bob cracks the case.
Yeah, cracks the case
Yeah.
and you're like, of course he did it. He's been here the whole time.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
No, it'd be like that scene, Fantasy High. Y'all want to make some bacon?
Yes.
Jacob, Julian, is there anything that you would like to do in particular?
Just go back to the clinic and see if there's anybody waiting to be seen, and then just do like, and just do some things if there are people there.
So it's nothing that you can't handle. Very mundane, stitching up wounds. Some of it requires a little bit of magical stuff, repairing a little like sprain or whatever else. Make either a... Actually, you don't even have to make a check, because I just remembered your house. You hear from the grapevine of your associate that you work with that the much larger Jarasco healing house in the Death's Gate ward of the city just had an explosion occur, blowing out one of the rooms.
Gwendolyn just sharded.
Yeah, and you heard rumor of this one badass lady who pooped herself in an alley. No.
She should come see me for some treatment. Irritable bowel syndrome is a very serious issue.
Apparently, you learned that it's being taken care of. Some other investigators, which you now would have heard of, are taking care of the investigation, but they don't think it's an attack on the houses itself. It's just an attack on the patient that may have been there or the investigators. But you're far enough away that you don't think there's any danger. But it was just like a point of news.
Well, that's terrible. I hope everyone's okay. If they need me, they'll reach out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just I imagine like going into the clinic, like people start handing me like clipboards. Like, and there's like 6 clipboards in my hand, and I'm like, you have the common cold, slap some healing on that. You got a sprained foot, slap some healing on that. You have gangrene, yikes, slap some healing on that. Like, and I just want to say the clinic is like really small, and it's mostly like a waiting room with some chairs.
It's like
and
one
then
waiting
a
room
curtain.
and then like a curtain and then like
Yeah,
the
there's
operating,
a curtain where I
like-
see people, and there's like 2 maybe like places for people to sit in there, and there's right next to that there's a ladder that goes up to the 2nd floor, and the 2nd floor is where I sleep, and there's literally just a hammock, and like a desk with an alarm clock and like maybe like a poster or something, and that's it. That's just where I sleep.
What's the poster of?
It's like a sunny beach or something that Julian would look at just to try to remain calm.
That's very...
Just like it's a pleasant beach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so you go, and you see that, on like amidst your things, one of your associates did drop down a little note, again talking about that there was an attack, and it seems to be sort of, a mass message for House Durasco stating the event, just so every healing house has the same information to keep an eye out. For meta's sake, it does give a description of a Kalishtar/human investigator named Cornelius Bray as a potential suspect. But besides that, there's not a whole lot of information that is being given out just because it's being taken care of. But it gives a description of Cornelius and who to look out for. But other than that, everything's busy, but business as normal here.
And I'll mostly do stuff with like a healer's kit or something. I won't like expend a bunch of resources if there's somebody who's like grievously wounded.
I also appreciate this idea of like just Roman and Bob going to the bank. Burrell has like a nice sit down with his son. Dr. Zero goes and sees his family, and you go to work and work until you have to leave and then get out.
That's what this is gonna be like, because like I don't know if I said this, but the way Julian sees it is this is just another way to heal people, like solving crimes, making the city safer. Like that's just it's preemptive healing, stopping people from getting hurt. So I have less things to do in the long run.
DPS are the best healers.
Oh, what?
A DPS is the best healer.
The best healer is just not getting hit.
Yeah, that's right.
It reminds me of that one time I was walking through Broy Hill, and Nolan Hughes walked past me. And you guys know how I am, and you knew how I was in school. And I walked past him, and he yelled back and was like, "Logan!" And I was like, "Hey, what?" And he was like, "I don't think I've ever seen you in public, and you're not walking somewhere like with a determined look in your eye." And I'm like, "Yeah." And that's kind of the vibes I get from Julian. Like, he is doing stuff nonstop.
Yeah.
It's if you're busy, you can never be sad.
Mm-hmm.
Categorically untrue.
Julian, hey, listen. Julian is a licensed therapist, but that doesn't mean you have to listen to his own advice.
Yeah, all right, Frazier.
That's incredibly true, though.
Jesus. Okay, all right. Let's move on. We're getting too dark, too deep. So you all meet
That's
up.
literally the premise of Frasier.
You all. No, let's not unpack that.
Stop talking about Frasier all the time, Carson.
Fine, talk about Christmas Carol. No. So we
It's a fine show.
we regroup with all of you. Because you know the Torchfire District is sort of a central meeting place. You can either meet there, or you can pick a time to go and meet at Skyway. It's up to you guys what you would prefer to do. You want to meet and travel together, or travel separately and meet there?
For sure, travel together. At least that's what Morel would try to, because he doesn't know. Yeah.
I'm okay with that. We can set a meeting time, and just go from there.
So, you set a meeting time. You broke apart at mid-afternoon. Probably a good meeting time for everyone. Probably about 5 o'clock to re-meet.
I'll be at least 15 minutes late.
So you all sit there and wait on Dr. Zero, who runs up. A little bit of blood on his coat.
Dr. Zero.
Or excuse me, Julian runs up. Sorry, too many people with
Too many
PhDs.
doctors.
Yeah. He's not a soda.
Yeah, there. I was actually gonna say that. Funny enough, I was gonna be like, "There's like a little bit of blood." I'm like, "Oh shit."
But you all meet
Work
up.
never stops.
Bob, do you change clothes when you go to see the khaki guy, or do you keep
I
on?
might pick out a fresh pair, you know.
All right. So Roman and Bob, if you want to describe your +1 outfits to go to the Skyway for me.
Okay. I think, let's see. I've got an even brighter set of khakis. Still the New Balances, which, remember that. I've got it. Logan looks bewildered.
What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, I've got it. I've got a nice khaki, nice polo tucked in. Maybe I picked up, like a snazzy blazer or something, and am still the fanny pack. Gotta have somewhere to store Jolene. Just that and a Mets cap. Or whatever the Sharn equivalent of the Mets is.
Sharn Nights.
I'll let you know. We'll come up with something.
Project
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll come up with a name from one of the Rajak teams, and that'll be a little shifter rugby.
Just an outfit like you'd wear like parent-teacher night.
It's enough
Like
to
a polo
show
and
like
khakis, but like the khakis are like tucked a little too high up.
yeah, it's an outfit that shows like I take care of myself, but still shows I'm an active parent and member of this community.
That's exactly what I told my khaki guy. Remarkable.
I want something that says he flips through 80 pairs of khakis and like these, and they all look the same.
Yeah.
He says these are a little more expensive, but I think they'll really convey the message you want.
Well, it was a big day for me. You know what? Bob, I look at myself in the mirror. You deserve this.
I'm pulling out the
Roman's
bolo
like
tie.
right behind him, like, why is he talking to himself?
Yeah, and Roman, you look down at Bob's wallet that's peeking out of his back pocket, and it says, "Help me." But Roman, what is your outfit that you would have gotten from the khaki guy?
Roman is familiar with fashion.
Is he?
and-
I mean, he's pulling the Mac from It's Always Sunny, like an overcoat with no shirt. Obviously.
Okay.
This is like Robin Williams coming out of the forest in Jumanji. You know?
What
And now that
is
he's back in
specific?
Now that he's back in civilization, he gets to use toilet paper instead of banana leaves. He's able to like fix himself up to like be a little bit more presentable, you know? This is like
Where did you come from this morning?
I second Travis's like mouth open to start saying something like 4 times and then eventually just rubbing his eyebrow. I second that.
That's just like the reaction that Alan elicits. It's just like last session when Alan was like, "Can I do something?" and Logan just went, "What?"
well, because Roman had like that moment in Forrest Gump when he's running and he's just like, I'm tired.
I think I'm gonna go home.
So is this what you're changing into?
The khaki suit, yeah.
Okay, you are allowing me to outfit you with some khakis.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I thought you were just like, I'm looking for an outfit that resembles Robin Williams coming from the forest.
No.
What I kind of thought too.
Yeah, khaki-colored leaves, you know.
That's what I thought you meant for a second. So we'll say, Roman, you're wearing like dad aesthetic, like the button down, tucked into khaki pants, mild dress shoes, and over jacket, but you're wearing it in such a like nonchalant, sort of rugged way that you kind of just look like a hipster wearing a dad outfit. Like you're kind of pulling it off in like a hipster way.
Can I wear like very similar to what Bob is, but form-fitting? Yes,
Bob's wearing these straight leg khakis. You're wearing a slim fit khakis.
I like that. Bob wipes a single tear from the corner of his eye.
I like this like passing thought of you guys having a little shopping montage, and Roman gets Bob to try on some like skinny khaki pants, and it's like real tight on Bob's ass, and then Bob's like, "No, that's not me." And he put on the straight leg.
Come on, just try it for a day, you know.
My kids tried to get me to get some more hip clothes. It did not work out well.
Look, these pants stretch.
You notice that in the catalog they're called keggings, khaki leggings.
I want to convince Bob to get these keggings. I say this, man, this is the look.
Okay, look.
Okay, look.
Listen, you're gonna be on the job, right?
We solved this case.
Anything can happen.
We solved this case. The first place we're coming back is right here, the Khaki Emporium. And I'm gonna get a pair of those keggings.
I'll buy you the keggings right here. Right now.
I feel like I need to earn it.
Right here.
The khaki guy himself emerges from the back room. You've been dealing with one of his lowly minimum wage associates this whole time, and you
What's
see
the guy's name?
God damn it, Carson. Let me look at my list of NPCs here.
I 100% know this.
His
guy.
name is Khaki Carl. At the Khaki Caddy Shack.
You see that his name, he is a human, and he is magical in nature. He's sort of an arcane tailor, using things like mending and prestidigitation to clean up and alter clothes. His name is Eledrin, Eledran, Eledrin.
That's way too cool of a name to be the khaki guy.
And you see that he has kind of coppery brown red hair, bright red hazel, or not bright red, excuse me, like brown hazel, almost amber eyes. And then he always wears, you guys will know what I mean, the Josh May Jurassic Park sun hat. He always wears that even when he's indoors. Not
Oh, that's-
Eladrin, Eladrin.
That's such a good pull.
And he walks out from the back. He hears this discussion, and he puts his arm around you, Bob, and he says, well, he takes one knee and puts his arm around you, Bob.
Eladrin, you old son of a bitch. How are you doing?
Says, I'm fabulous, Bob, and honestly, I heard you say that...
Porter here, and we do
Big
we
ol'
do
handshake.
our no, we do our secret handshake.
You do the khaki club handshake.
Yeah,
And he
You guys
says...
just rub your pants together.
no, not that.
Come on. And he says, Bob, I heard you say that you have to earn the keggings. Bob, we've known each other for a long time. You've been a wonderful customer
That
for,
was-
what, 30 years now?
Yeah, you were in my wedding. Yeah.
Exactly.
How did
And if-
that turn out?
By God, if you have not earned these keggings by now, I don't know what else you have to do. And you know what? I have good hearing.
Look,
You know I have
Ellen-
good hearing.
I've been wanting. I wanted to be a detective for all those years. They never gave it to me. They kept me as a beat cop. Every mystery, every case that was remotely challenging, interesting, fulfilling went to the higher ups. I got a job, or I got a internship. I look at Roman at an investigative agency today. We're about to start our first case. I feel like this is my chance to prove myself, and this is keggings worthy. Solving my first big case. Solving my first big case I will finally feel worthy to have those
I get any and all people to start cheering and
around
clapping.
my buns.
Bob, if you would make a persuasion check for me with advantage, with that heart-wrenching speech.
Okay. Persuasion? Okay. 19.
Eladrin looks at you. He says, God damn it, Bob, I told myself today, Eladrin, you will not cry. You are the khaki guy, and the khaki guy does not cry.
Hey, pal.
But here you
Pal.
came in.
Pal.
Fuck all of this. God damn it.
And Eladrin, he yanks off a pair of keggings from a nearby shelf, and he looks at them. He does a bit of mending and prestidigitation and thaumaturgy, whatever kind of spells he needs to make them perfectly your size. And he tosses them over his arm, and he says, I'll set these off to the side, and they will be waiting for you, Bob, when you completely close and finish up this case. How about that?
I will not disappoint them.
Perfect. That'll be 5 silver pieces whenever you come to pick them up.
Entirely reasonable.
I
That's why I keep coming back. A wonderful service and that khaki barn guaranteed a fair price. You cannot
Khaki
find
Castle. Khaki Castle.
Khaki Emporium.
I want
And
this khaki shop to be like,
you will not get better khakis in this city. Isn't that right, Eladrin?
He looks around to see if, like, the press is here or something.
Donovan's walking by, hears this, and goes, I don't give a shit about khakis. Get out of here. Donovan's like the other kind of dad that's like trying so hard not to be a dad.
To be
He's
cool.
like, I'll never wear khakis. You can't make me.
Holy shit. Oh my god.
I want there to be like a few people in the corner, like at like an old-fashioned local barber shop or like a soda pop shop. You know, just like people that chill there all day, and like I want to tell them like, we'll be back.
Those are our pants. So you make your final purchases. You
Thank you for indulging this look.
God damn it. And Roman, you double check and you glance over your shoulder as you exit, and the sign on the outside says the Khaki Barn Castle Emporium.
Khaki Barn.
It's like, that could use some rebranding. And the castle's still spelled with a K, even though like the alliteration's completely busted. It's not there anymore. But you make your way, you regroup at 5 o'clock in the Torchfire District. Julian is 15 minutes late. Who would like to pay the 6 silver pieces to take the trip up to Skyway? Because Skyway is a district built on clouds. And so the only way to access it is via flying or sky coach. So whoever would be willing to cover the sky coach tab.
I'll do it.
Oh, okay. Is it 6 silver per person?
Nope, just 6 silver total. Essentially,
All right.
6 silver per trip.
I got it.
Okay. So Julian spends the 6 silver, and you all make your way to the district of Skyway. And now that we are over halfway through our session, I can't believe we're over halfway through our session. We're gonna take a quick break to toilet cat, get refills, get snacks, etc. We will pick back up in the district of Skyway. Jesus Christ. Alright, I need this break so bad.
Thank
All right.
you all for sticking with us.
Yes, thank you guys so much,
That
and we'll be right back.
was amazing.
It's taking some time to redo the layout, but it's okay. We're back! I had another update that I remembered while I was away. Oh! You'll notice that the Something Happens has been taken away from the Tings as a reward. That's because the Something Happens will be used purposefully for these sessions as our investigators travel from place to place. So, on that note, as you guys are finding a sky coach to take you to Skyway, if I can have someone volunteer to roll a d20 for me.
I'll do it. I got a 4.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay. You got a 4. There. Da da dum, da da da, da dum.
You take 10d10 necrotic damage.
The Something Happens as unexplained magic occurs. But if you have not met me, I'm very liberal with things like that. And so, Dr. Zero, as you find your Sky Coach driver, probably not you, probably someone else does, you're sitting there thinking, you're sort of not necessarily inspired by your dad's invention, but your mind has just started reeling of like, what if this? What about this? Could, this and this and this and this and this? And, you sort of get into a hyper-focused, that could work, ooh, what about this and this and this? And so, Dr. Zero, you are, it's a weird way of phrasing it, you are inspired. You can add a d4 to the next intelligence or wisdom check you make.
Which doctor?
Dr. Zero. The one who advertises his PhD.
Yes. Me, the doctor.
The driver of your Sky Coach, which I hope my players remember because I've used this Sky Coach driver, I think in every scene I've ever done with a Sky Coach driver. Human man, kind of egg-shaped, a little bit on the shorter, rotund side, bald head, big handlebar mustache, and a bowler hat. He takes your money and starts driving you to the Skyway, and you're not even in the Skyway yet, and he's already kind of prying. He asks, like, what's a group like you going to the Skyway for?
Just some business.
Some errands.
We're on a case.
You can see he regrets asking, and changes the subject and says, well, how about this weather? It just keeps going on.
This weather, yeah. So muggy, and it's, if it were a dry heat, it wouldn't be that bad, but it's so the moisture in the air is really what does it.
Yeah, the soil is so saturated.
So eventually you guys make it up to the Skyway, after about 5 to 10 minutes of flying. Most of you, even you, Roman, would probably only have been to the Skyway a handful of times. Just because it's where, like, the wealthiest people live. Not even, like, people who are dragon marked. Yeah, they're wealthy, but they may not be the wealthiest. This is where most of the Sharn counselors live, like the people who oversee Sharn's political functions. this is where like the heads of houses live. So even the Madani house doesn't necessarily visit this place too often, except maybe on business or vacation or a little family trip or something. The Skyway itself, like the rest of the city, it's several dozens of towers that have been built on an entire island of solidified material clouds. It is one of the most extravagant places you've ever seen, and as you land, you can start taking in as extravagance. Every building is built to perfection. No scuffs, no scrapes, no scratches. The roads are perfectly intact. The landing dock where your sky coach settles, it has a glass bottom that you can look through and see Sharn from a bird's eye view, just like Dr. Zero's father had always dreamed of seeing. You look around to many of the buildings that adorn the Skyway. Thank you, I will hydrate. The estates, and some of you have seen some very lavish, beautiful estates built among the towers, but these are unbelievably crafted and ornate buildings. The Kundrak Bank of Sharn, like you just saw, with gold and marble adorning it. They're gold and marble estates, but the engravings on these marble columns are so fine and detailed that it almost seems impossible. Even though only a certain type of person lives in the Skyway, since the last war, it has become a bit more diverse. All of you, go ahead and make a history check for me. Who got a 12 or higher? Nice. So the three of you keeping up with more current politics and day-to-day operations in Sharn. There have been a number of Dragonmarked heirs who have moved up to the Skyway. And distinctly Roman. Do you remember, like, asking or, wondering, like, will I ever get to live in the Skyway? Can I... Sort of that, like, oh, when I turn 18, I'm going to move to an apartment in New York kind of thing. But you never got the chance to. But there's also even, like, wealthy, well-to-do criminals who have lived in Skyway. There are a few, for those of you who succeed on the history check, of the, like, Boromar clan, who are a deeply rooted criminal organization in Sharn, who own estates in the Skyway. In fact, you even know of one Boromar clan member who owns has a seat on the Sharn Council because of pull and importance to the Sharn structures. So there has been a little bit of diversity that started sprinkling in through the Skyway. And so immediately you step foot off of the Sky Coach, people start tossing some looks your way. People start gawking in their, rich person fashion, trying to be discreet. And you are free to roam the streets and pathways of the Skyway amidst the clouds that encompass the surrounding areas.
I make sure that, like, my doctor's, like, coat jacket has, like, something that says, like, mark of healing, or make sure that, like, it shows me as such, just
Little
because
house emblem.
in my mind that's like, I'm allowed to be here, I am a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck off.
I just carry myself with a confident air.
Nice.
I do the opposite of that.
Nice. So you were asked. You were told to meet with your client. let me pull it up here. At the Dragon's Hoard. Once more, Travis is gone, but it's okay. The rest of you, make another history check for me.
Ooh. Nice. Got a 24.
Who got a 10 or higher? Rip Bob. And who got a 15 or higher? Oh, fuck yeah. The three of you, and this works out, the two Dragonmark people got the 15 or higher. The Dragon's Horde is...
Yes, Alan, it's our turn to be the Dragonmarked people.
Hey,
now we have all the Dragonmarks.
So, you, the three of you would know about the Dragon's Horde. It is one of, not even one of, the finest resort in Sharn. It has opulent hotel, opulent amenities, big pools, big just entertainment. It has its own stage. It has a mini casino on its resort grounds. It is the place to go to as a rich person in Sharn. And you would know, the house people, that it is maintained and owned by House Ghallanda. And so you sort of piece together very quickly that your client is a House Ghallanda Dragon-marked individual, and you're being invited to a Dragon-marked resort to meet with them. So that means they must have some pretty direct affiliation with this resort to invite guests in this fashion. So, you all make your way amongst the bricked streets in the clouds of the Skyway. Most of you had kind of said that you're not really going to change your demeanor too much as you arrive there. So people kind of gawk as they do at the fungus-covered turtle man, the two dads wearing polos and khakis. People, you know, they look. But you find your way to the Dragon's Horde. And as sort of a way to expedite this, the Dragon's Horde, you know, the energy that you see in commercials for cruises or vacation resorts on weird distant islands and stuff like that. Just the really positive, relaxed energy that those commercials give off. That's what this resort tower gives off. You walk in and you see the employees are wearing, you know, like above the knee white shorts and pastel colored shirts, and they're all halflings. Immediately before they even question are you a guest or not, they offer you glasses of champagne. Does anyone take?
Hell yeah.
I decline.
I'll take it.
I give Morel mine.
I drink them both.
I take it, but I don't. I take it, but I don't drink it.
Oh, thank you kindly. Yeah. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, I guess. Oh, 5 o'clock here, yeah.
And I imagine it's probably a bit unnerving to, well, it's unnerving to us as people. In character, it'd be a little unnerving, depending on your, you know, wisdom or anything like that. But when Bob cracks that joke, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, the nearby, like, 4 or 5, like, white, shorted, pastel-colored employees, like, just, oh my god, you're right, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. And sort of share in this communal laugh. It is...
I like it here.
Is that one of those things that are they laughing at him or are they laughing with him?
Make an
It
insight
sounds like
check.
they're hired to laugh.
Make an insight check. Anyone can if they want.
I choose not to. I'm gonna choose to enjoy this.
That's a 22.
And my insight check
is
18.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, you're pretty easily pick on like.
They're paid.
They're being paid to entertain guests and supply them with whatever makes them happy. But you also don't really sense that they're doing it in sort of like a, fine, I guess I'll laugh at this guy's joke. Like, you imagine that as a house employee, they're probably being paid well, they get to live in the Skyway and all sorts of stuff, that they're kind of like, yeah, sure, whatever, like laughing at his joke. So it's not necessarily a malicious laugh along with him, but it's just like a, yeah, sure.
Good. Don't.
Yeah, you're the 80th person today to say that. I mean, yeah, it's funny, I guess, but like, come on. So they all laugh along, and you see nearby a directory of the resort. It's Sharn. It's still part of Sharn, so it's still a tower. And there are levels for suites. There are certain levels that contain just one penthouse suite. There are levels for casinos, entire levels devoted to restaurants, entire levels devoted to a variety of shopping needs. Like, it is a one-stop shop resort. And from what you can tell for all of you, even though it is a one-stop shop, it's not low quality. It's still like, oh shit, they got some like good stuff here. Like, as far as like, imagine like a mall directory, and you can see the different store names and restaurant names and what they might serve. It's the equivalent of like you seeing like, oh, they sell clothes on this floor. What do they sell? Like the top tier of Ralph Lauren. They sell that at this store, and that's like the only thing they sell. And so it's like a, oh shit, those khakis cost like 50 gold a piece. Like, it's, you know, it's still well to do, even though it feels very cheesy in a way. But as a group, to expedite this just a hair, if you all will make, you decide as a group, because you kind of go into this, and you were told in the last session, as sort of amateur investigators, you don't get go anywhere I want passes. You don't get the I'm allowed here because I'm an investigator pass. You kind of have to use your skills and wits to get into places you might not necessarily belong. And of course, even though they're treating you well, they can tell, like, they are not from here. They don't attend this resort as a vacationer. So, sort of out of game, you can, or pre-game, whatever you want to say, you can kind of decide as a group how you want to approach the concierge who allows you into the later floors, or to meet your client. This will pretty much be you deciding on a group skill charisma check, whether that's you're going to try and deceive to get your way up, persuasion, if you want to sort of intimidate your way up of just like, let us in, we have business to attend to kind of thing. Or if you have some other means you want to try, you can do that as well.
Can we just be like, hey, we're here to meet someone, can we just go?
And that's the thing, is you're not allowed to just walk the resort. You have to pay to be a part of this resort. And so that's kind of the challenge, is you can either pay with the very taxing cost per person for the resort, or you can try and make your case to go up. And that's kind of up to you to decide. And you have not had a long rest yet, but you have had a short rest. So you can kind of, if there's anything you regain on short rest, you can go and do that now. Otherwise, you expended whatever things you expended during the trial previously.
I'm gonna vote persuasion.
And whoever does that, I will give them guidance.
It'll be a group check. So yeah, you can guidance yourself or one other person. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, somebody order a DoorDash up here.
You can do something like that as well. You can say, I have a delivery for someone that needs 6 people. You could frame it a certain way, but...
Maybe not. Maybe just a persuasion.
Yeah.
And we'll say this is sort of happening like on the Sky Coach ride, on your walk to the resort. because you kind of know that you're gonna have to figure out a way to meet with your client.
We'll just keep it simple. We can just tell them that we're here to meet with somebody, and we're not gonna hang out afterwards. Just to make it very simple.
You have the name of the client, right?
Yes.
You do.
Okay. Cool. Logan, can you remind the players of the name of the client?
Andre de Ghallanda.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Andre de Ghallanda. Is everyone, so I know that was like 2 or 3, does everyone agree on persuasion tactics as opposed to any other kind of tactics?
Sounds good to me.
Travis is shaking his head no, or he's shaking his head like, I don't care.
I don't care, yeah.
Are you saying Morel is not a sweet talker? You're muted.
Oh, I understand that Morel understands people and understands that sometimes the best way for you to get through to people is for other people to do the talking for you.
And I'm fine with that, but if it goes wrong, I will use invisibility.
Alan, I'm not copying that question into the thing of Sharn Nights After Dark.
No, do it. It'll be fun.
That's a rude question, Alan.
That's hilarious. Actually, what if that, can we make that a one shot? Can we make that a one shot?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Speed dating with Bob.
I, for a moment, it was sort of one of those, across your, like, front of the brain, like, thoughts that races. I had this idea of, like, what if Carson DMs a one-shot as Bob with his own, like, little Babysitters Club style investigation team?
Oh my god, that's so many levels.
It's too deep, so... If everyone else on board with the persuasion, if everyone will make a
We're fighting the evil witch named Elaine.
Evil witch named Elaine. Rescue the dog from Elaine.
I want the kids to have a good relationship with their mother.
So if everyone will do me the honor of making a, this is a group check, a persuasion check, and because you can drop the name of your client and whatever else, the DC is fairly low.
Okay.
DC
I'm gonna give
10.
myself guidance.
You give yourself
I gave myself guidance.
Give yourself
as well.
guidance. Give everyone gets no. I don't know.
Damn it.
DC 10.
26.
Yep.
17.
17.
16.
27.
10.
I got an 18, 4 for guidance, and then +5 for persuasion.
I got a 10 from a 7 and a 3.
Should we roll for Alexander?
We're not gonna worry about it. He will do the thing that it talks about in the DMG. He fades into the background. He's there, but he's not there.
Gotcha.
So, and plus, on a group check, as long as more than half succeeds, and you all succeeded, so you're fine either way. So, after just a bit of chatting up, the pastel-colored shirts and the white short halflings, and it's very resort-esque. They're all beautifully tanned for some reason, even though you imagine most of them spend their day inside. They're just all, and probably all of you would at least pick up on, they're all, like, fairly attractive. They're all very handsome and beautiful people that run this resort. And come to think of it, everyone in Skyway has been very attractive and beautiful up until this point. So it's very like your eye has a lot to catch on. But you eventually silver tongue your way. The concierge in their pastel colored blazer and tie and white pants. He says, yes, Miss Andre de Ghallanda, she is up in the Ruby Lounge having some drinks and dining this evening. I hope you brought your appetite. Jacob? I swear I swear to God.
Oh, Alan can ask silly questions, but I can't ask
No,
silly
you
questions.
cannot.
Favoritism.
I mean, have you met Alan? No. So
Unfortunately.
you are gestured over to a halfling woman, beautiful tan skin, brown hair that's been made golden by the sunlight, freckles across her nose, beautiful golden eyes. She says, follow me right this way and we'll take you up to the Ruby Lounge to meet Miss Andre de Ghallanda. And she walks you over to the elevator, presses the button, and you all start to...
The elevator?
The spell-elevator, excuse me.
Sorry, we have to maintain continuity.
Takes you over to the spell-elevator. And you go up many floors until you reach what is supposedly the Ruby Lounge. The Ruby Lounge, upon seeing it, it's a bar. Except you see as a... Once again, no matter the sort of environment, you still see the white shorts, pastel-colored button-down shirt, but an apron on a halfling running by with a plate of food. And the plate of food that you see being delivered and the plates of food on people's tables, it's bar food. Tacos, wings, appetizer platters. But they are all displayed in such ostentatious ways that it sort of catches your eye. Like the tacos that they sit out, they're on taco holders made of pure glass that are holding these tacos like they're made of fucking diamond. Like they are beautifully displayed. You see that there's one plate of food. It seems to be some kind of oh gosh, what would it be? Yeah, Breland. Because Breland is the country you're in. What is known in Breelish cuisine... Breelish cuisine... That was hard to say. Breelish cuisine as... I still can't say it. Breelish cuisine. Why is that so hard to say for me? Breelish cuisine. It's just there's so many E's. I think we lost a viewer during that.
Not surprising.
Brings out effectively a fajita on that is sort of floating in mid-air. It's like kid cuisine. Yeah, Breelish cuisine. It's floating in mid-air and sizzling. And then eventually, as it's laid down, it slowly begins to settle like onto a plate where it stops sizzling. It's very strange seeing this sort of magic infused with the food. But it's all still bar food that you would see elsewhere. You're taken across the floor, walking past the bar, and any of you can notice, looking at the bar, that the liquors that are displayed on the shelves, some fine imported liquors and wines and beers. Like, not stuff you would see typically from where you're from. Roman, you may have seen it in a sort of past life in a way, but it's probably been a while. And so you look at some of the labels and it jogs a few of like your taste bud and memories, and you're like, oh, I remember back, one time I did XYZ. But eventually... yes.
Julian gets noticeably uncomfortable, like, looking at all the alcohol bottles. And I'm trying not to look at them. And I'm just rubbing that stone on my bracelet.
Roman, what is your passive perception? Oh. LOL.
10 plus my perception?
Yep.
16.
Awesome. And would you have considered Roman a party boy in sort of his past life?
Yeah.
Roman,
remember when Bob was talking about like busting up some of like the upper city kids getting like drugs or like at parties?
That was one. You were one of them.
Yeah. I said like, yeah, good times. As Bob was talking.
Yeah, good times.
So your one of your extra senses, sixth sense, seventh sense, whatever it is, kind of goes off. Whenever you walk into this bar, you kind of feel like, not necessarily more comfortable, but you're like, yeah, okay, this is kind of my speed. But you feel that sense of discomfort coming from Julian. It's like whenever you're at a party and you're drinking and you see the one person that's not drinking, or you're around them, you can like sense it. You pick up on it, you're like, you don't drink, do you? You kind of, your sense goes off for Julian.
I'll go up to Julian. Hey, man.
Hey. Just rubbing my bracelet. And I don't think I said it's like a stone of cleansing. It's like a special it's an Eberron specific item, and it just essentially is like prestidigitation. It like cleans your hands.
It disinfects.
And I'm just
good night, Paige.
rubbing my hands.
Thanks for watching.
What's up?
Just looking for our client.
You okay?
Yeah. Fine. It's great. Just don't like bars too much. Have a bad relationship with drinking. Don't drink anymore.
You wanna take a break outside?
No, I'm fine. We just need to do what we need to do.
Okay. Does Julian already have a drink or anything, or no? Just nothing?
No. And in fact, whenever most of you accepted champagne or accepted it and passed it off to someone else, Julian had not.
I look for... it's probably high quality, like just spring water.
Yes, it is the top of the line spring water imported from XYZ nation.
Actually, I'll get is carbonation a thing in
Sure.
Sharn?
It is now.
Some like Perrier or whatever.
I don't think we can say
a
the
Fresca?
actual name. So
Perio.
Perio. It sounds like an off-brand cereal, Perios.
No, it's
Yeah,
like
I'll give
Cheerios,
it-
but you just put Perrier in cereal.
That makes you want to vomit. So you get some sparkling water for Julian.
Yeah.
I accept, and I drink a little bit of it, but I start trying to focus on the task at hand
Yep.
to get out of here, so I can not be around a thing that is my vice.
And so you are led through the bar. Essentially, it's a sort of moon-shaped floor where the sort of inner line is just one long bar, and then the outer line is a bunch of booths, occasionally broken up by a glass door that leads out to a balcony. So you are led pretty much to the end of this U shape, which takes about 2 minutes after moving through. It would take, like, it's a big place. And eventually you are led to where apparently Andre de Ghallanda is. You're told to wait a moment as she's finishing up a current engagement. Apparently the concierge or the helper agent tells you that she's finishing up her current lunch meeting that has run a bit long, and will see you momentarily. So after a few moments of waiting, eventually the previous meeting leaves. You see it is a older human man, silvered beard, seems to be boasting some kind of noble heraldry, but as you're glimpsing him, you're immediately called to by a boisterously, unbelievably loud voice that says, "I finally showed up! Grab a seat, grab a seat, grab a seat! Quick, 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 come on now, come on, right in here."
I wait for someone else to go first.
I'm hustling over there.
you hustle over there. You all grab a seat in this booth, and you see a halfling sitting across on the other side of the booth. And this is a full-sized booth. Even though it's run and owned by halflings, they cater to all shapes and sizes and backgrounds. So it is a fairly plus-sized booth. So you immediately, even as players, but also as people, you think a halfling sitting on one side of this booth would look microscopic. But this woman has such a personality about her that it's still almost intimidating seeing her on this side of the booth. She is a small halfling, but still very well shaped. She has dark skin and very thick, curly, big hair that tumbles around behind her and across her shoulders. And immediately as you look at her, even for all of you, her eyes catch you because one eye is almost just bright yellow. It is a bright golden color, and the other one is almost a silver blue color. And she's one of those people that sort of naturally has crazy eyes where you can see the white between the eyelids on the top and bottom. And so she just has this like bright, powerful, engaging energy about her. And you look at her and you see that she stands up on the booth seat and leans across and sticks out her arm, and she's wearing an surprisingly elegant pantsuit that is like orange and dark brown. It is a sleeveless sort of almost a vest top with pants that has golden trim from head to toe. And then her face itself has golden piercings and jewelry, and her hands have golden jewelry. She is an elegant and energetic looking woman. And she stands up on the booth seat and leans across the table and starts shaking your hands each individually. She says, "My name is Andre de Ghallanda, and honestly, you can just call me Andre, you can call me Miss Ghallanda, but honestly, I just prefer Andre. That is what everyone else calls me, and it's up to you. It's really up to you. If you have a fun nickname you want to call me, that's great too, but Andre is what most people call me."
My mouth is agape, just how fast that she's talking. I'm just like, and immediately my doctor brain is like, is she under the influence of something right now? Is she drunk? Is she high?
If you want to make a medicine or insight check, you can see.
I'm like trying to match her energy. I'm like, Bob Springbriar, pleasure to meet you.
Bob Springbriar.
That's a 24 medicine check.
Yeah, and I would also be trying to make sure that I would see if maybe she
a new customer?
A new customer, yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah. So go ahead and make an
Auntie
insight check for
Andrew's
me,
okay.
Morel.
Okay, that's gonna be 21.
Okay, so the
Oh, wait,
both
is
of
that
you.
Yep, 21. Sorry.
So the both of you, it's very obvious she is excited. She is very energetic. But Morel, to you, she's not under the influence of anything. This just seems to be her natural demeanor. However, for Julian, she's not under the influence of anything. This is her natural demeanor, but she, some highly energetic. Some kind, like, it is a, like, an innate energetic about her.
Like, when we start talking to her, I'd like to use my feet. It's empathetic. So the way Julian is an empath. So what I'm thinking is, like, I'd like to, it says, like, until your next turn, you get advantage if you succeed on insight. But I just, if you're okay with it, I just want to use that to, like, be like, if I can really just get in touch with, like, what she's feeling as she explains this case to us.
So we'll just say on the next insight check you make, you get your bonus.
Yeah.
And with her energy, she meets and greets, gets on all your names. And she gets down really quiet, but somehow her energy stays. She, eyes still wide, still talking to you all.
I'm so intimidated.
He says, "So, I hear you're from Hobart Weston's investigative agency. I'm so glad you finally got back to me. I've been waiting for your meeting, and I usually have meetings right here in this booth. It's kind of my booth." And she points to a little plaque at the end of the table that has her name on it. And she says, I'm so glad you finally got in touch with me. That was really quick. I hope our Western really found a good group of people to really solve this for me. Hey, snaps over and she says, let me get a mimosa for all these guys. Well, actually, what do you prefer to drink? Are you more of a beer people, or are you, stouts? Are you light beers? Are you more of a bubbly mixed drink?
I'll take a dark and stormy.
Classic.
Nothing for me, thanks.
And she leans over to you, Bob, places a hand on your hand, and says, "You know what? You can never go wrong with the dark and stormy." And leans over to the waiter and says, "Can I get 2 pitchers of dark and stormy, please?" And
I like her.
and within maybe 30 seconds, 2 frothy pitchers get placed down with a dark and stormy. You can see that it is frothing with like the pineapple juice and everything, with little umbrellas stuck in the pitcher, and you all get placed glasses very quickly, each with an umbrella in it, and get poured. Almost too quick for you to like keep an eye out.
I kind of push mine over to Morel just to get it away from me.
And Morel will spike both of his drinks with with mushroom. This one in general is just it's just trying to maintain energy.
Little upper.
And yeah, it's just a little bit of a little bit of caffeine basically. And it gets some nutrients in there as well.
Yeah, and you probably at this point would all see me like just push this drink away.
And I'll lean over and on behalf of Julian just say, yeah, and can we get some soda as well?
Perfect. Any preference of flavor or anything?
I'll look at Julian.
Can't go wrong with a good cherry cola.
Perfect. Cherry cola, please. She says, and also, I see that you kind of have a stained jacket. Are you a wings guy?
Who is
me?
it?
No, she's asking Julian.
Oh.
I look at my jacket to see if there's stains on it. I'm like,
You catch that so small, like on just like the cuff of your sleeve. There's just a little bit of like brownish stain. You know it's from blood. She thinks it's from barbecue sauce.
I go, oh no, that's, I'm a doctor. Blood. It's probably blood. I didn't kill anyone. It was, stitches.
Sure, absolutely.
And I clean off my jacket with this stone. I'm like, how did that get there?
She says, well, if it's all right with you all, I have a soft spot for wings, and you come right at the time that I normally have dinner, and usually have my dinner meeting, so I'll just go ahead and, can I get an order of, and just starts rattling off, like, order of, wings, and onion rings, and, like, some crazy nacho platter that has sour cream and salsa and cheese and guacamole, like, all sorts of crazy shit that she's rattling off to these people.
After the cola thing, I will give Roman like a very like, thank you so much, like without saying thank you so much, I'll give him like a very like gracious nod.
Yeah.
And so while the food is getting delivered, she leans down again and kind of lowers her voice and says, all right, let's go ahead and get to business before the food gets here, because once the food gets here, I really don't want to be talking about any of this anymore. So, I understand that the information I had given was a little bit vague, and I apologize for that, but I really don't want anyone finding out about this. I've already done a bit of my own snooping, and I don't want people to come, don't want to come back around to me, so I'd rather keep my name out of it if it's all right with you. So, I am suspicious of my friend's death. I am sure that was made clear in the job description. But what I really wanted to keep secret, and she leans around to anyone who might be listening, she looks over and a waiter sets down a basket of wings. She nods and they step away. She says, I don't think my friend ever died. I mean, her family said that she was sick. It was very sudden, and then within, 3 days, she was dead. Now, clearly you all are from Skyway, and I think it's pretty obvious that people who live up here can afford the top-rate healing that money can buy. And why would they not have healed her? And she kind of leans back for a second. Plate of nachos and all of its dips and things get delivered. And she leans back forward again and says, and also, she was an elf. And the Areni elves are some of the very few who can raise any creatures from the dead. And I know her family. They would have done that in a heartbeat. She still had 500, 400 years left to live. I mean, what kind of... Anyway. So I suspect that she never actually died and that her family is hiding something. Now, I know what you're gonna say. And I've already done what I could. I've asked her family, I've tried figuring out who buried her, I've tried figuring out all this stuff, and I can't find anything. Her family won't reveal anything, you know. I think just a few days ago, they went on vacation in their grief. I mean, I'm sure it's lovely, but... So, I haven't found a single drop of information about her death other than that she was sick and that she died and that none of the clerics could heal her. And she kind of runs her fingers through her very curly, you see she catches a few knots and kind of pulls it out. Once more, a waitress drops by what seems to be like a spinach dip bowl and sets it down. And then she says, yeah, can I get a refill? And you see that she's already finished. Like, the pitcher on her side of the table is already empty. And so she orders some more dark and stormy for everyone. And then she leans forward one more time and says, so here's my proposition. I had to sort of cease my own investigation. She's one of my best friends. We've been friends for years. I mean, what is it? It's been... about 50 years now, which I know for a halfling, it's about half their life, maybe. I still got a few good years left. And Bob, when she says that she's still got a few years left, she looks at you, Bob, and winks. But, I mean, I've known her well, I've known her family well, and it's all too strange. So, here's my proposition. I couldn't do too much delving with her family, or they would start getting a bit squirrely, but uncomfortable. And I tried asking some of the clerics and priests who administer her rites here. She was an elf, so they're all about that sort of embalming and funerary rites and all that kind of stuff. I tried asking them, and they couldn't give me enough information. And I'm a ranking woman, after all, and it wouldn't appear well if I was snooping around in people's businesses, especially while the family is still grieving. But if I know my Ellis better than anyone, I know that she was up to something. There was something else going on, so... Alright. My proposition. You're investigators, you have skills, is that true? You have skills? Yes?
Yes.
She leans in a she leans in a bit closer and says, I want you to find Alice's crypt in the City of the Dead and check her coffin, check her tomb to see if her body is actually there. That is the concrete proof I need to know what has happened to her. And, again, that is your upfront payment. If you do that, if you just open her crypt and prove that she is not there, you get your payment. Done. But if you want a little bit extra more, Gallifars for your pockets, then I will hire you to find out what happened to her. She was far too young to die of sickness or old age. That's nonsense. Something else is going on and they're not wanting to speak about it. Her body is the proof that I need.
Can we ask a few questions before we do this?
Sure.
And Julian's like razor focused now because we're talking about medical shit.
Yeah, and she's had numerous drinks. And she's eating plenty of food. And you imagine that the energy she is giving off it requires the calories to burn. So she is like eating and scarfing down stuff like nobody's business. And she's like a fairly elegant person. And so it's weird seeing her devour wings and get herself messy. Like, it is a little bit odd. But you watch, and all of you would find this a bit interesting. Maybe not so much Julian. But she reaches down, touches the napkin that's sitting in front of her. She doesn't rub her hands with it. She doesn't dab her mouth. She touches it with her fingers, and the myriad of sauces and gunk that have collected on her fingers and mouth disappear. And she continues eating.
Nice.
You
said your friend was acting suspiciously and they may have been up to something. Can you tell us anything strange before your friend's alleged death? Anything out of the ordinary? You were rather close, so you would know if something was off beforehand. If we want to know what happened, we need to diagnose the symptoms beforehand.
Yes, and and that was the strange thing. I invited her out to drinks and food like we do every Thursday, and it never happened. She never showed up, and then I asked her family, and apparently she was kind of ill that evening. I thought nothing of it, and then 2 days later, she was dead.
This I suppose leads into my question. When is the last time you saw her?
Maybe about 2 weeks ago, I think. Then she was sick for a few days. Then we got news of her passing, and then the funeral a few days before, or a few days after, excuse me.
And this is where I'd like to do insight and see if I can get in touch with what she's feeling right now.
Go for it.
And this is a contested check. A deception check if she doesn't want me to know.
Okay. What'd you get?
26.
Let me check something really fast. There's never a good sign. With a natural 20 for a total of a 25, you don't detect any kind of negative feelings from her. And oddly enough, you detect, I mean, it's pretty obvious, but you detect very sincere excitement from her. Like, as if it's a game. As if her friend has set up some kind of elaborate game for her. Like, she is very like, I know my friend's not dead. I mean, no, of course that's not true. And from your medical perspective, it's a little hard to tell whether it is genuine excitement or denial excitement. Either way, she is convinced that her friend is not dead and that this is some elaborate shindig.
I put on my my grief counselor glasses, and I find a way to like be next to her, and I kind of just like gently like put my hand on her shoulder and go, losing someone is always hard, and even if we're gonna do this for you, but even if the answer isn't one that you'll be happy with, your friendship still exists, even if she has passed on.
Make a persuasion check for me.
I after like successful check, I'm supposed to get advantage for my next turn. Can I roll with advantage because of that, since I succeeded?
Sure.
Hell yeah. That was they were both very, very good. A 23.
With a 22 insight, she places a hand on your leg and turns to you. And for the rest of you, they're very close right now. To the point where like
Julian perceives nothing sexual about this. This is like a doctor is talking to a patient.
And everyone else, you're like, oh, they're about to kiss. Like they're in that kind of range right now. She says, well, I appreciate that you're still willing to do this for me. But
whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. And you know, I gotta be honest, I was a little excited at the prospect of her playing a prank on me or being some kind of ruse or something, but I had not really taken time to consider that she might actually be gone, so...
If you ever need someone to talk to, my clinic is always open, and I do offer psychological counseling. If you need to talk through anything, my doors are always open. No charge.
Oh, trust me, that House Ghallanda will pay handsomely for services.
Oh, I don't need money. That's not why I do this. It's obviously for the fashion. As I look at my slides with socks.
Employees laugh in the background.
Yeah. She kind of laughs a little bit.
I was trying to lighten the mood.
Yeah.
Did it work?
It did work. And she looks back up to the rest of you and says, were there any other questions? Ultimately, it's a pretty straightforward instance. Just see if her body is there. But, you know, if it's not, I might look to hire you further.
Yes, we can do this for you. We should be able to gain access into the crypt rather easily.
Any other questions?
Just out of character, did she tell us this woman's family name?
Yes. So, and it struck you as a bit odd. They were a land-gifted family by the name of Langhorn. And the Langhorn family, elven family in the Skyway, but not a traditionally elven name. So you imagine that they are Sharn-born, Sharn natives. I toilet cat terribly. So if anyone wants to vamp at the bar, please do.
Alright, so you pan over, you see Dr. Zero and Dr. Zero Jr. They are basically like, you know how like Scooby and Shaggy are just like devouring the food and their bellies are fat out? That's exactly what's happening with those two right now at the moment. Not even paying. Yeah, he eats. Well, he's not a... Technically, he's a homunculus, but... He's a robot-looking homunculus. And there you can see little Dr. Zero Jr. is putting it away.
This turned from cylinder to sphere.
Yes. A fat little robot, yes.
As Dr. Zero is doing this and Julian is talking with Miss Ghallanda, you just see from the unzipped fanny pack the top of a Ziploc bag as Bob is just putting chicken wings in there.
For later, yes.
I don't have much in my apartment right now. You know, I meant to go to the grocery store today. You know, in case the whole investigator thing didn't work out well. So yeah, here's dinner right here.
And you also just see Morel digging into these fucking wings, like now that she's kind of
eating like a turtle, like
no, like Morel's pretty quick about it. He's like he's experienced with eating food, so he's eating food fast.
Me too.
Especially when there's kids around, he knows. As a parent, you start getting used to like, all right, I gotta eat this shit quick.
Morel, can you pass the sweet potato fries over there? And Dr. Zero, the jalapeno poppers, if you will.
I grab a handful for myself and I slide the basket over to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Didn't forget. Didn't we get some kind of payment up front? How much was that? Was 200 gold. I think that'll pay for some nice groceries.
And so Andre speaks up with that. We'll jump back in and says, yes, if you bring back information about whatever you find in the tomb of my friend, you'll get 200 gold pieces and any expenses along the way. Food, supplies you may need, because you might need some to traverse the City of the Dead, and also any sky coach rides you need. I cover that. House Ghallanda will cover that. And when you ask about the Langhorn family, she starts to go off a little bit and says, yes, my friend, Ellis, the Langhorn family, Elven, I think they're Sharn born, so they don't really have too many ties to their home nation. But I think our parents immigrated from there. I truly don't recall. But I know that, here's sort of the first tick in the suspicious box, is that I know her parents. They're a bit traditional elves. I mean, they follow many of the Oreni traditions, and most of people in Sharn now cremate any of their dead loved ones, but the Oreni don't. They follow the embalming procedures and funerary rites and all sorts of stuff, and anyone who is from Oreni or ancestors of the Oreni and want their body to be sent back to their nation, it is kept at the local temple and sent back. But her body was buried in the City of the Dead, and that just seems very unlike her parents. I thought it was a bit suspicious at that. It was just against tradition. And I tried and here, let me write down his name. I tried contacting the fellow that, from the temple who, supposedly embalmed, Ellis, but apparently he's not been there the past few days. He's been sick since her burial. Now, if that's not suspicious, I don't know what is. And she writes down his information. He is also a high elf, an Oreni elf. And his name is Ruvain. Ruvein. Ruvain Pasatra. Pasatra. Ruvain Pasatra. Says he's some acolyte or priest at the Undying Court's temple, the Gates of Passage. I have been unable to track him down, but again, I don't want to stir up the waters too much, so I leave that up to you, my investigators. And of course, dinner and expenses are on me. So eat, drink as much as you want here. If you are going to investigate her crypt, I don't want to plan for you. I don't know the ins and outs of private investigating, so I'm not going to tell you what to do. But I know that the City of the Dead is a bit more quiet at night. That's mostly due to superstition. Traveling a cemetery at night, people get a bit jumpy. But that also means less people there. So if you aren't afraid of such superstitions, it might be better to investigate the crypt at night. Otherwise, during the day you might come across, the caretakers, people in mourning, things like that. And it wouldn't be good for business if you were caught grave robbing.
Of course. So this Pasatra character, yeah, you were trying to contact him because he works there. He didn't know Miss Ellis before her supposed death.
See, I don't know. And I mean, we always shared, girl talk. we always talked about, people we knew in the drama and the things that were going on in our lives, but she never spoke of this Basatra fellow, so I have no idea if they knew each other. And apparently he worked at the temple and he was in charge of her embalming, but then mysteriously didn't show up for work the next few days. He has not been at the normal sermons and the normal practices and rituals.
Could they have been in some kind of relationship?
The thought has crossed my mind, and I think it's very well possible.
Maybe it's like the
perhaps
old Romeo and Juliet story. They had some kind
The
of
classic,
love.
classic halfling tale, yes.
Yeah. Nomeo and Juliet.
Yeah, Nomeo and
The
Juliet.
classic gnome tale, Romeo and Juliet.
Damn it!
Damn it! It comes around full circle.
Fuck! God!
See, I don't know, and that's very well possible, but without stirring up too much trouble, I think just knowing if her body is in the coffin or not will really tell the tale itself. But if more things come to light, I may see if you could track her down. But I'm more and more convinced every day that she might have run off in some fashion.
We'll get to the bottom of this for you, ma'am. Thank you so much for your business and your trust. I look towards the rest of them. We won't let you down.
Yes, and I'll take her hand, and I'll go. Just remember, no matter how this turns out, we're here to help you heal, and healing is more than just magic. It can also be the things we do for one another.
She looks to everyone else, and you can't. She's hard to read. It's hard to tell what look she's trying to convey.
I'd like to try to read her anyway.
Make an insight check.
How can you be so insightful yet so naive at the same time?
24.
Varian has a wisdom of 19. It happens.
It happens. She thinks you're hitting on her.
Oh, I realize that, and I go. I'm a doctor. I like in like the confidence that when I was talking about like medical things, gone. Just like I'm not. No, me. No, not. No, I'm not hitting. No. Mm-mm.
Well,
I counseling. And I immediately like let her hand go, and I just like, just start rubbing my wrist again. Just like,
yep, yeah. You see, Bob just gives you,
was she okay with me hitting on her? Or making her uncomfortable? Because if so, I want to apologize.
I mean, she doesn't seem offended by it, but she's like double checking with everyone else, like, is he?
Everyone else is just like,
yeah, they don't know. They don't know you well enough, yeah. She orders you an extra soda, cherry cola to the table.
God, I love cherry cola, dude.
Yeah, she orders some more rounds of drinks and food for everyone. And for the most part, unless anyone else has any more questions, she sort of entertains and patrons you for the rest of the next hour or so, buying drinks, buying food, getting to know you all a little bit better. Now, this is more just a moment of honesty. For those of you who are partaking in the drinks that she is buying, if you will make a Constitution saving throw.
That was a good reaction.
Yeah, that's a 9.
Hey, I also got a 9.
Hey, ones.
I got a nat 20 for a 22. Bobby, don't play.
I got a 12.
So, Morel and Bob. Well, first, we'll start from the bottom up. Roman
go.
and Dr. Zero. You get to the point where, like, you know you're starting to hit your limit. Like, you've had your couple pints, you're like, oh man, this is I'm good now. Like, this has been a fun evening.
Yeah, let me get in character.
But something about
That's
Audrey's personality, she's just electric and energetic, that when she orders another round for everyone, you're like, alright, fine, one more, and then it just keeps happening multiple times. And now you two keep going deeper and deeper till you're feeling pretty drunk by the, like, after, you know, the hour of eating and drinking together. Julian, as you are watching them get drunk, you look over at Bob, who has, like, multiple empty glasses around it, like a shocking amount of empty glasses, and he is still cracking jokes and puns at everyone like nothing has happened. He has not been affected whatsoever. And same with Morel. He has slightly fewer glasses in front of him, but you've watched him peel stuff off of his shell and drop it into his drink and eat it, and, like, he's still normal old Morel. It is just a weird half split of wasted and handling it like a champ. But what I am most interested in seeing, what does Dr. Zero start doing when he gets too drunk?
And Junior.
And Junior.
And Junior.
Oh boy.
When I start getting too drunk, I go, oh, Junior. I give him the keys to my hover boots. I say, don't let me fly home.
Would you like would you like to not be drunk?
Would I like to not be drunk? Sure.
I peel back my coat with my mark of healing, and I just put my hand on Dr. Zero's shoulder and just pat him, and I use it to cast Lesser Restoration.
Amazing. So he's less drunk. But in the meantime, Dr. Zero, once you kind of sober up, you look around, and you recall handing something to Dr. Zero Jr., and you turn to look at him, and the keys you handed him are just sitting on the floor next to you. Because you're so used to just, like, handing him something and him taking it. And you look down, and then you look up, and at a stage halfway across the bar, you see Dr. Jr. looking, like, microscopic from this distance, standing on the stage, and he has some kind of, like, thaumaturgy, like, amplification stone in his hand. And you know for certain you have not fully installed a voice box into Dr. Zero Jr. So the only thing being amplified across this bar is...
No, he goes, dame, dame.
And
he does the Yakuza meme.
Yeah, he is just jamming up on stage.
I start clapping really loudly. I was like, that's my boy. That's my boy.
He points at you.
I point back and say, I love you, Dr. Zero Jr. with all my heart.
He's got quite the voice.
Yeah.
And
he's gonna go on Broadway.
Sharnway.
Sharnway. And Roman, what is drunk Roman doing?
At first,
what'd you say?
Huh?
What?
He's that drunk though. What?
At first, he's just feeling it a little bit, you know, vibing, and then he starts forgetting the point of why he's at the table. And so at some point, while Bob makes a funny, he ventures off away from the table and just starts chatting up with the employees and just kind of basically just tries to party with anybody else that he sees. He's just kind of like aimlessly wandering around the area.
You're making friends with everyone.
Yeah.
This is just like going to a party with Alan.
Yeah, that's just Alan, man.
At some point, like right as we're about to leave, I'll walk over to him and just kind of like slip behind him, place my hand on his back, and cast Lesser Restoration, and just walk away.
All right, so the two casts out of the way, everyone is eventually sobered up.
Hey, this water's great.
I imagine like
Yeah.
you're wasted taking your first sip. You're like, oh my god, this, and then you get less restoration. You're like, this water is, it's fine. It tastes like water.
I'm less excited about this than
Yeah,
I
this
was
is
my
not
first.
nearly as fun.
I would like to slip in whenever after they get lesser restoration put on them. I would like to slip drugs into all the drinks.
All of the drinks?
Just the ones of the lesser restoration to people.
So, if Alan and Xavier, if you'll both make one more Constitution saving throw,
Would I be able to see
Oh my
this?
god.
probably.
It's a 10.
6.
Oh, buddy.
Travis is like, "Hey, there's spell slots. You wasted them."
So,
Yep.
yeah, D20. Because Morel doesn't have a full grasp of what all grows on his back, or like enough like care to grab particular
That's
ones
just straight up
sometimes.
poison. They're dead.
So essentially, what will happen?
God.
Since you both failed, I roll a D20. 11 or higher, it is a positive upper effect. 10 or lower, it is a
They poop themselves. We need another poop in the
negative
pants. In
downing
2 hours.
effect. That's a 7. So you effectively
Oh, no.
both go back to being,
We get the laxative shrooms.
yeah, you're downed and you're acting slower and you're feeling it now, Mr. Krabs.
Can I tell if Morel did this to me?
Make an insight check.
Do I need to roll?
I'm using,
Actually,
I'm using
yeah,
different
do I-
dice. I'm
do I
using different dice.
recognize these shrooms from my earlier tasting?
Also make an
I mean-
insight check. Morel,
I
make
got
an
a
insight check.
16.
You did this to me.
I would.
Wait.
What'd you?
And Travis, what'd you get?
A 17. I rolled a 17. I got a +0.
I think I'm proficient. Okay, 19.
Nice.
Yes, Roman, you recognize these from earlier. You recognize the faint smell and aftertaste. You're like, oh, this is that shit Morel grows on his back.
I
Dr.
mutter.
Zero, not familiar.
I mutter under my breath and I say "you" as I'm crawling on the ground towards him.
Do I have a spell for that?
It's called Shillelagh. Beat him to death.
Finish him.
I have good berry. That's not going to help you at all. I have infestation. Also the opposite of helpful. Yeah, I don't have any restoration spells, so
So, effectively, Dr. Zero and Roman. Oh no! Morel pulled out the good shit, and they are under the poison condition for the next 4 hours.
Oh my
I
god.
rolled max on a D4.
Oh my god.
So, you
I'll cast Lesser Restoration on both of them again. There go my second level spell slots. I hope you're fucking happy, Travis.
He looks pretty happy.
who cares about healing?
So
It's a game.
at this point,
Can I
it's
do
like
something?
yes, sure.
As a way to say thank you to the good doctor, I will. Doctor, you have healed me twice.
It's my job, don't worry.
As a way to repay you, drink this. And I take out. You see, just like this fizzy vial.
I would like to know what the fuck this is.
Well, it's a new experiment I've been working on. It won't poison you. So, something positive would happen. Trust me.
Do I trust Dr. Zero?
Dr. Zero, you're trying to mislead at all?
No.
Yeah, then, yeah, he seems honest.
Hold on. So you hand this to me, and I immediately like go to the table, and I pull out like an herbalism kit and like some other stuff. I'm like doing tests. I'm like, what is this? And eventually I'll look at you and I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna drink it, and I tip it up and I just taste it a little bit.
I just gave you my experimental elixir, and I rolled a 4, and that is boldness. The drinker can roll a d4 and add the number of roll to every attack roll and saving throw they make for the next minute.
Oh, I feel bolder, and I go, thank you, doctor. That was a good good elixir. I'm sure that will come in handy later.
And I write, and I look, and you kind of see, and then I write down quickly, saying, head did not explode upon drinking.
Pupils dilated, dry mouth, head not exploded.
Yeah.
Batch
Wonderful,
number 3
wonderful.
success.
Good.
Batch number 2's recipients were not so lucky. Many mice died that day.
I love it. So, with 2 of you poisoned for the rest of the evening, it's like 7 o'clock.
Not anymore.
Oh, that's right, you lesser restoration them. So, would you care to go to the City of the Dead tonight? Or postpone
sure.
investigations till the following day?
I'd say let's do it. Let's go ahead and go.
Oh, you're saying like in real life or like?
No, obviously not in real
In-game.
life.
In-game.
Okay.
Graveyard
In-game.
trips are always best. at night.
Essentially, what you can expect is, like you were told, people are avoidant of the City of the Dead at night because of, superstitions, spirits, undead, whatever else. So there'll be less people there, but also if you're superstitious, might be a bit scary. Vice
I'm a
versa,
little
if you
bit
go during the day, it's better because there's plenty of light and whatnot, but there's more people there, grieving, caretakers, etc.
I didn't have any plans tonight. I was just gonna eat some ramen and read that book. What is it called? The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. That fella on all the merchandise recommended it, and but yeah, I'm down to go tonight.
I hate it so much.
Connected universe, weaving together narratives. This is what I do.
Is there like
It's
a
our hard
spike
out
shop?
Marvel.
A spike shop. So, you finish up drinks and food whenever you had. You leave the Dragon's Hoard Resort. You find a Sky Coach driver, and just by happenstance, you find the same Sky Coach driver from earlier with the handlebar mustache and the bowler hat.
What's this guy's name?
Eggman.
Oddly enough, he doesn't give you a name. And he,
Don't know why.
Why?
The name's October.
Yeah, it's Dr. Eggman.
Yeah.
He is the Eggman.
he drives you down to the Death's Gate Guild, which just earlier today there was a crime scene investigation for Katarine Orion, and there was an explosion at the House Jarasco Healing House. But you make your way through the outskirts of the ward to where there is a gate that exits out to the cliff side of Sharn, where the City of the Dead sits. And that's where we will stop for tonight. I'm so pumped.
I love how we play this game, and it's just like, let's handicap each other. That would be really funny.
I mean, honestly, that's what makes good encounters.
I know, and the thing is, like, I don't care, because, like, that's what I was gonna do anyway. Like, Travis could literally just spend the entire day attacking people, and I'd be like,
Heal. Please stop. Heal.
it's like, I made a healer, that's what I do. I'm not gonna be
I mean-
mad about doing my job.
I'm gonna be honest. Morel just likes giving people mushrooms, so that's a
I
choice.
I just came here to drink Dark and Stormies and solve a mystery, and it looks like I'm all out of Dark and Stormies.
It's all right. The item that I picked gives me an extra use of Channel Divinity, so I still have one if I need to give myself spell slots again.
Oh, that's tight.
Yeah, no, some of the new items in Tasha's very cool.
Nice.
And
I picked-
Tasha's?
It's like, yeah. It's I think it's from Tasha's. It's called it's like the Amulet of Devotion, and it gives you a +1 to your spell saves and attacks, and it gives you an extra use of Channel Divinity.
Ooh.
It's only
just
for
didn't know if
clerics
you-
and paladins.
I just didn't know if you meant the other one.
The other one.
The new book. Not Tasha's. What's it called?
Isn't it Tasha's? Is there another new book that I need to know about?
Are you thinking of the UA? That just came
Never
out?
mind. It might be Tasha's.
But yeah,
God.
good job, everyone.
Yes,
Yeah,
so
if
much fun.
you guys, you lovely people watching, have not checked out the new Unearthed Arcana from Wizards of the Coast, the Gothic lineages, it is super dope.
Super rad. And
Yeah.
yes, unfortunately, Lark Network, we are just now ending. We've hit our time limit for the evening, but we'll be back again next week at the same time. Same. I'm not gonna do the actual line yet.
Same. Sharn.
That means we're
Oh,
stopping.
we're not done.
No, we're not done yet. But same time next week, and we'll be getting into the nitty-gritty of the investigation.
We go rob some graves.
Thank you for stopping by. Mark it on your calendar. Yeah, they're gonna go rob some graves to see if the body is actually there. I'm looking forward to it. Oh, what's
I
up,
hope we-
Mandalore? Quick hug.
I hope we run into some spooky ghosts.
I like that. That's a good question.
Yeah.
So,
I'm not putting that in the document.
you should. So yes, and as
See,
you
he already answered it. There's no reason for me to put it in the document.
So yes, you see them asking dumb questions in the chat.
That was an insightful question. Thank you
That's a
very
good
much.
question, Steven. These questions.
Alan doesn't know because he doesn't know anything about anatomy of fish.
Anyway,
Gill holes exist.
so the reason why people are asking dumb questions in the chat is
You're a
because
gill hole.
every other Monday, and maybe sometimes during the week, depending on who we want to have involved, depending on the questions that need to be answered, we have a Sharn Nights After Dark where we talk about the campaign, talk about our characters, talk about D&D stuff. And if you want to ask a question and hear the answer, subscribe to my Patreon. We'll answer some of these questions, so it'd be like more like baby. Exactly, it's like butt chugging.
It's like boofing.
Like boofing. So, yeah, if you want to hear all the nitty gritty, dirty secrets of our characters in the campaign, subscribe to my Patreon and we can answer them for you. And next week, at the same time, 7:30 p.m. Central Time, we'll be continuing this campaign, and then eventually here in the next few weeks, we'll be jumping back into our main characters for the serial killer investigation of the house killer. Now that our investigators have been arrested. So,
Detained.
sorry. I am still 10 subscribers away from unlocking the new emote slot. You'll get another creamer emote, which I'm very excited to unveil. It is my favorite creamer emote because it's him kind of sad with a curled up lip and then a cup of coffee in his hand. It's very cute. And I think we all feel that pretty regularly. I have a new campaign coming up soon here in 2 Fridays, the date of which is the 12th. Oh, that's so soon. February 12th, I'm building a new campaign using the Shadows Over Driftchapel supplement, where it'll be more horror-based. We're using some gritty, long resting and healing rules, so it'll be very difficult and very challenging for our players. I'm looking forward to it. So tune in for that if you want some Cthulhu-esque D&D. I've revised my adventure on DM's Guild. You can check that out. The Ember Oracle, new pretty layout. I've got some new stuff.
Was that new campaign? That was the one that you're streaming,
Correct.
or are you just releasing it? Oh, nice.
Yep. So in similar themes, next week, next Monday, I'm doing a giveaway for all my subscribers to get a $25 gift card to the DM's Guild, so you can purchase some sweet D&D content. And if you get this gift card and need some recommendations, I can hit you up. There's some really cool products out there. One of my favorites that I'm looking forward to running sometime. I have too many things I want to run, not enough time to do it. But one of the things I am looking forward to running is a D&D anthology based around the Studio Ghibli movies, and it sort of has the sort of fairy tale anime themes of the Studio Ghibli movies, like Spirited Away and stuff. It's a very amazing anthology with awesome artwork and cool adventures. And there's just so many things. The Exploring Eberron book, it's all amazing. So I'll be giving away a gift card so you can purchase some of those amazing products. And additionally, whenever I start streaming my new campaign for Shadows over Driftchapel, I will be doing 3 giveaways over the course of that campaign for the supplement Shadows over Driftchapel. That's a good question.
I'm putting that one in there.
Yeah, put that one in there. That's a good question. And so you'll get the opportunity to get the supplement for that for free. It is an amazing supplement full of amazing resources for running a horror D&D campaign. So make sure you show up for some of those streams. I think that is all my announcements for the future stuff. I did most of those at the beginning. So we'll be continuing this story next week. Get ready, Jacob. Warm up those vocal cords. Get ready. Do those warm-ups. Give me some lip trills real fast. Perfect. Next week at the same Sharn time, same Sharn place. Hit it, Jacob.
Monkey.
Shine.